for the most part, a full match. All right, let's get her done. That dude died fast. Oh, that's a fun grenade. Ah, move it, move it, move it, move it, move it, move it, move it.
Enemy troops assaulting objective Alpha 1.
These are on Alpha already, people. Come on, it's called defend the point. 20 of you down here. Ow, ow, ow. Why are some of these guys dying so fast?
Objective Alpha 1 is under attack.
Ah, my aim is terrible right now. What the hell? Oh, okay. Some of that bad net code, you know, for an alpha test and all that fun stuff.
Enemy assaulting one of our objectives.
What's up?
Hey, it's our old pal Lemon. How's it going, buddy?
It's going, except for tomorrow being Monday. Everything's grand.
Everything is grand, man.
Everything is peachy keen. What you playing?
More Delta Force.
We'll make
Did you ever get accepted or no? Or
No, they never even got back to me.
oh,
I've been unloved. Let me tell you.
enemy
Check my spam folder. Maybe it's in the spam folder.
mission is clear.
Nope, it's not in the spam folder.
ow.
Womp womp.
Womp womp womp.
These things happen.
We lost control of our objectives.
So is the game still good?
It's still very fun. I mean, it's an alpha. It still needs some work in terms of the net code, I would say. Oh, can I grab a vehicle? Wait, where's our vehicle? There we go.
Enemy control.
Give me my vehicle.
Alpha.
But you know, it's an offset alpha. It's gonna be, you know, I don't think it's releasing until sometime next year. I'm not really sure, but hopefully they can fix some of the kind of major issues. One big thing I've noticed, unless I'm just that big of an idiot, is that you can't like change your guns and everything once in a match. Like you can do it outside of a match, but like if you whatever you pick, you're stuck with essentially, which is really weird.
Oh, that's kind of odd.
Yeah, it's really odd. I'm not sure why it's like that. So
Like, yeah, that seems more like a.
Objective Bravo
They'll add that feature in when they get the chance. That seems like a glaring omission.
it really does, but at the same time, you kind of would expect it to be there, ready to go. So
I don't know. I was expecting a description of how to play Concord and all its features and systems, and I didn't get that either. So
and that was a beta a month before it's supposed to come out. So
yeah, and it was there too. Like there, the tutorial was referenced a number of times in, you know, the how to play section, and
Right.
I looked for it. I could not find it. It's like I feel like a tutorial should be part of the beta, you know. So I don't know. It's
Enemy
weird.
has neutralized Bravo 2.
guys, why are they taking Bravo 2? Not be the case.
Because no one's there to defend it.
Clearly. Especially when they're literally right here. Teammates, what are you doing?
Not defending the base from the sounds of it.
Oh, okay. Did not expect that rocket coming in. Okay. Well, that is a, anyway, so yeah, let me show you. So right down here, if you're looking on the main screen, like I'm trying to select the car 15 assault rifle I've got. Can you change it? Nothing. Right clicking, left clicking, tapping in, nothing. Won't let me do anything. So I can
It
pick.
seems more like it's a case of they're just still working on it.
Yeah. Which again, it's fine if that really is the case. So, you know, I'm all for it. Like I said, I'd rather have an alpha build than a beta than a full release. You know, I'm totally fine with waiting. I'm all for it.
Sounds like you're not fine with waiting because you're complaining about it.
Oh my god, man, I'm giving him feedback and I'm complaining. Oh, hello.
Pick a goddamn lane.
Not sure what's going on there. Why is there not an indicator above the dude's head? But okay.
Bug report.
Whoa!
Enemy troops assaulting objective Bravo 1.
Ow. There was another guy right there in the corner.
Always check your surroundings.
Oh, so did you hear about the news? The
News.
publishers, yeah, tons of news, right? The publishers of PUBG, they bought Tango Gameworks. Yeah.
Rip.
So, because they're a, I think, aren't they a Korean company? If I remember correctly?
PUBG.
I believe they are. I'm like 90% sure on that, unless I'm really that off.
Gee,
Defend the objective.
I thought it was correct.
Let them take this sector.
Crafton Inc. is a South Korean video game publisher and holding company based in Dangguseong. Jesus Christ, I cannot say these words. It was created in November of 2018 to serve as the parent company for Bluehole.
Bluehole are the makers of PUBG, if I remember correctly.
It's a bad name right there. The company has published several notable video game titles, including Terra, PUBG Battlegrounds, New State Mobile, The Callisto Protocol, and Moonbreaker. Ooh, Callisto Protocol. Ooh.
You wanted Callisto Protocol to be so
Oh,
good.
I did. I want it to be good. Ew.
Oh, damn.
Brother, ew.
Oh, the tank got me.
Oh, Moonbreaker's a turn-based strategy. I haven't even heard of it. They never came stateside. They didn't push stateside. I didn't know they did Terra though. I remember Terra. To come out 2011.
I mean,
yeah,
hopefully they at least allow.
No, I'd say this is worse than Microsoft owning them. It's because I at this point I have to look at the article about it. But like, what are they buying? Just the IPs? Because the studio got shuttered. There's no one at the company left, right?
No, from what I hear, they've kept the entire team, like the entire company and everything. So if they wanted to, they could make I5 Rush 2.
All right, let's see. IGN. No, let's go somewhere better.
Ooh, damn. How am I
PC
still alive?
Gamer. Yeah, games industry biz sounds a bit fancier than IGN.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
IGN likes to make random opinion pieces about how Deadpool and Wolverine didn't learn from the MCU.
What's there to learn?
I don't
How
know.
to shove a dying franchise into blockbusters? Like what? Like Deadpool is the only interesting thing Marvel has, at least in my opinion. Like I like
we
it.
really
I still
need
haven't
the
seen it yet.
sniper.
Still to watch it. I was gonna go see it yesterday, and the movie theater was packed at a 1 o'clock showing. It's like shit. To wait 3 weeks to watch this goddamn movie in a not packed theater. All right,
Well,
let's
it's
see.
doing really good. It's probably set to make $1 billion.
Good. Deserves it.
Oh, it does. It absolutely deserves it. Yeah.
PUBG publisher Krafton has acquired Tango Gameworks as the Hi-Fi Rush IP from Xbox as part of a strategic agreement. Okay. Okay. Does the studio shown?
Enemy attacking
Expect critical
objective Bravo
success.
2.
All right. So
I got the vehicle hit.
Krafton said that the acquisition will have no impact on the availability of Tango's previous releases, and that they will remain available where they are currently.
Moving to attack.
Which, okay. The firm said in a statement, this integration reinforces Krafton's dedication to expanding its global footprint, enhancing its portfolio of innovative and high-quality content.
Oh,
The addition of Tango Gameworks represents a strategic alignment with Krafton's, not Krafton's, mission to push the boundaries of interactive entertainment. Doesn't talk about them keeping peace though. Right. All right. Let's try GameSpot.
Enemy troops assaulting objective Bravo 2.
Yeah, because I guess what are they getting from? Because this statement also confirms that there'll be no impact on other Tango projects such as The Evil Within and Ghostwire Tokyo, which will remain with Microsoft. So all Krafton got was Tango Gameworks and the Hi-Fi Rush.
And Hi-Fi
IP,
Rush, yeah.
which I guess of the franchises that are owned or made by Tango, that's the one that seems most likely very lucrative to make into a gacha game. So
How do you make that into a gacha game? That's my question, though.
I mean, how does anyone do it? Through sheer greed in the boardroom.
I mean, you're not
I don't know,
wrong.
songs or
You're
something?
not wrong there.
Who knows? I mean, because
Enemy troops
it's
assaulting
it's a low hanging fruit. This publisher, like I mentioned, has done a number of different games.
Right.
But those games are multiplayer. I think this is the first one that's not going to be multiplayer.
Right, exactly. So
Yeah, because it was Terra's MMO, PUBG's massively multiplayer. New State
what the
Mobile
heck?
is a mobile
Oh,
game
behind
for the
us,
name.
guys, behind us.
Oh, New State Mobile is effectively PUBG. Okay. Callisto Protocol is a single player game. Okay, so I guess there are some. So they're trying to branch out into games that aren't.
Well, I mean,
necessarily.
that's not the first time. It's not, you know, everyone like kind of squealed when the makers of Stellar Blade, you know, were saying they're making a single player game, and the only thing they were known before was their gacha games, essentially. That's all they were known for. So I'm not, you know, it's been actually kind of reported that, oh shit, a lot more Korean developers are trying to branch out into the single player and not just simply gacha stuff, or using that gacha money to then, oh, he was behind me, using that gacha money to then make single player games to be able to branch out and everything. So I mean, if they do that and they do something like what we saw with like Stellar Blade, I'm 100% for it. I'm okay with them having Tango, especially if they let them make, you know, Hi-Fi Rush 2, because I know Bobby will absolutely love that game.
It's his favorite game.
It's his favorite game of all time. I don't know. I mean, obviously, only time will tell. So, I mean, this purchase literally just happened today. So,
Yeah, no, I mean, that's how it goes.
I get that guy. Ow. Oh shit, their tank is over. Oh god, their tank's over there. All right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do what the game doesn't want me to do, and do this. No, seriously, the guy behind him. Oh, come on. The bullets were supposed to go through people and get double kills and everything. That didn't go the way I wanted it to. The flank didn't work out.
Womp womp.
Womp womp womp. I just want to get the tank. That's all I want to do. I will take down the tank. Mark my words.
assaulting objective Charlie 1.
Tank moving. It's just hanging in the center. Damn it.
The enemy is weakened, but we can't let them break through.
Come on. No, come on. I always got over beforehand. There we go. Teammate, don't follow me.
One has been compromised.
Don't follow me, teammate.
Stay
What?
in formation.
No! I was in the area! No! Come on! What the F was that?
There's a delay on the stream, so I hear you just. Yep.
Dude, what the Come on!
Enemy control.
I had the perfect flank to get my rocket launcher out, take the tank down, and... Ay, ay, ay. Oh, jeez. Thanks for the heal, I guess. Damn. All right, you know what they say, third time... nope. You know what they say, third time's a charm.
They do say that, yes.
Ah, crap.
But is it actually the charm?
Hey. No! No! Where was he? Dude, no. Just popped his head up. No. That doesn't count because it wasn't the out of bounds that got me.
You sure about that?
I will persist. I will make it. Come on, teammate. Get out of combat. You know, I do give them props for that little detail on this little map when you're trying to spawn in. They actually show like where explosions are and everything. I give them props for that.
That's kind of cool.
I give them props. No Battlefield map has ever done that.
No.
Holy crap. Okay, that's a double kill. Yikes. I'm just gonna stay right here. Damn it. I thought I could get him through the window.
Turtle.
And of course, the teammate next to me is not a medic. And luckily his defense, we get infinite respawn. That's the benefit right there. So... but they are just laying on the heavy fire, aren't they?
Incoming artillery. Destroy the enemy.
The artillery actually get the tank?
Enemy assaulting one of our objectives.
Oh, I got one! I don't know how!
Coming. Turn up the heat.
Dude, medic right here. Come on, medic! Oh, of course the medic dies. The tank! Yes, the tank has made a grave mistake. He's coming closer to our base, which means I can rocket him.
We lost control of our objective.
Stay there, tank. Just perfectly still. Don't move at all, you know, just like a normal tank would.
It's our last stand. This is where we turn the tide.
Crap, we have to get that fast. There we go.
Incoming artillery. Destroy
All right, where's the tank? Come here, tanky. All right, I don't know where the tank is, so we're gonna try this one final time. Okay,
target
going again.
ours. The enemy is on
Wait.
the last leg.
I'm past.
Victory is close.
Oh, the red line. I can't go past the red line. I forgot about that. Shit. Well,
What is the first rule of Fight Club?
Don't
Don't
talk
cross the red line.
I was say don't talk about Fight Club.
It's our last stand.
No, that was the second rule.
Is where we turn the tide. We are moving to attack Charlie 1.
Oh, okay.
Smoke support coming. Turn up the heat.
Is that tank dead? Maybe the tank's dead. Yeah, the tank looks dead, I guess. Okay, never mind.
Enemy troops assaulting objective Charlie.
Ooh, I got flashbanged. Damn. Down, son.
Cruise missile launched. Prepare to advance.
Cruise missile was launched. Lovely.
Is this like a kill streak kind of thing, where it's like
It's not
really bad
kill
news?
streak, so
Success.
I don't know exactly how it's done, but so do you remember medals from Battlefield? Like if you capture a point 3 times and you got like a conquest medal or a little ribbon, I should say. Remember the ribbon system? Remember that?
Yeah, ribbons.
Yeah, the ribbons and everything. So like if you get in, so in Battlefield at least, it was if you got a certain amount of ribbons, then you got a medal at the end of the match, right? And you could get multiples of those over and over again. It's just all it was is experience points. That's all it was, right? So apparently in this game, there is like this combination of that where within the game, if you get a certain amount of points to then get a ribbon for something, so whether it's getting kills, revives, etc., you then get points, which then go towards some tactical benefits. And like, so most of them are simple ones. You can drop in a movable vehicle. So like think ATV essentially, no tanks or anything. It's just like an ATV type of thing essentially, right? But there is like an artillery strike one, but you have to get like a ton of points and like basically no one can get them until you get to like the end of the match essentially. So again, I don't know exactly how they're done. So okay, now before I go in, change my weapon. August a level 8. Rifle that I'm supposed to. There's a really good rifle in the game. Where was it?
How do you know if it's good or not, though? If it's locked.
No, someone posted on online saying like this is the M4A1. Okay, and it's an auto rifle, so
Dumb question.
only-
You probably already asked it. What's the level cap in this alpha?
in the alpha, I don't know. But based on this, it seems to be level 40. So
Oh, okay. So it's not like a beta where you can only get to like a certain level.
that would be my guess, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Only under the assault class? Ah, I have to be level 13 in order to unlock this. Okay. What level am I right now? I am level... I don't actually know.
Take it.
Ranked. Seriously, what level am I? I don't actually know what level I am. I think I'm level 10 or... I'm either level 10 or 11. I don't actually know.
I think they would put that as like a big old number.
Right, it's a big old number, essentially, right? Like, that's what my thought would be.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not even there yet. Battle journey. I just did that. Whatever. Daily. Seriously, what? There's got to be a... Whatever. Let's start next match. Whatever. Again, we're just one of those quality of life things I'll most likely put in later.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it is an alpha.
One thing I am impressed with is that finding matches is really not that long, which is good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, 45, 46, 47 people found. And again, servers are 64 players, so I mean, and the fact that this is an alpha, you know, I'm surprised at how easy it is to find matches, especially at it's Sunday at almost 9 p.m. Sunday time US. I mean, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm. Not too shabby.
This is probably the longest I've seen, actually. It's over a little over a minute to get 60. That's 63 right now.
Say that again.
I said this is actually the first time it's taken a little bit longer to find a match. So it's 63 out of 64. So it's almost 2 minutes into searching. So of course it's the moment I actually talk about it that it takes a while to find a match, right?
The whole notion of every time you say something or want to do a demo of something.
Yep.
That's how it goes.
Although I guess the one thing I didn't count on is it because it's 9. Oh, there we go. Match found. Okay. Because I'll say it's 9 p.m. your time, which means it's midnight Eastern Standard. So I'm wondering if the alpha's over for this weekend or something. I'm not sure, but I don't think so. At least I hope not. Someone's name's a Silver Samurai. That's funny. Oh, let me ask you a question. Just let me read this to you, and I want your raw reaction from it. Okay. New rumor on Black Myth Wukong PS5 performance claims the team is working on a native 4K 60 FPS mode. Currently, it will feature a 1440p 60 FPS and 4K 30 FPS mode. Black Myth Wukong is an Unreal Engine 5 game.
Yeah. Wait, say that again.
So basically, they are trying to make a target performance mode where it's going to be 4K 60. Or generally, for all console games this generation, it's been 4K 30 or 1440p 60. However, this is claiming somehow that they are going to, in Unreal Engine 5 on the PS5, they are trying to make a 4K 60 mode. Do you believe it or not?
Godspeed and good luck. No one else has been able to do it.
I know, right? Like, the only thing I know that might be somewhat considered close to that is that when you have games like Spider-Man 2, they didn't hit a 4K 60, but they're able to do some kind of technology thing where they had ray tracing in all of their modes, whether it was fidelity or performance, because they were able to do some kind of ray tracing, like voodoo magic, essentially. That's the closest thing I can think of. I know God of War Ragnarok had a 120 hertz mode, but I don't think it was in 4K. So those are the closest things I know of. In terms of an actual 4K 60 FPS solid across the board, no dips, I wish them nothing but luck, but I don't know. It doesn't, I don't know if that actually worked.
Yeah.
I got it. Oh, I that grenade. That was a grenade. All right, guys, now it's time to move in. Oop.
Our forces are moving to attack Alpha 1.
Oh shit, they know I'm here. Okay, back it up. Ah, I'm blinded. I was literally blind. I couldn't see a thing. I know. I have hopes from Black Myth Wukong, but I'm still a little skeptical. I'm just like, God, like everything they keep promising, I'm just like, can you really hit it? I don't know. I hope you can, but I don't know if you're gonna be able to do it.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
That's the thing, right? And another thing, like, because I know it's been confirmed that codes have been sent out for early reviews, so that's at least a positive sign. I will say that. So that's good. Now, my question though is, are those codes that were sent out, were they only for PC? Like, are we having a Cyberpunk, 2077 issue again, where only the PC codes are sent out and you weren't seeing the console versions? Or is, the PS5 version also sent out? So, because we know, because they kept saying that Sony has been a big help in terms of working on certain things. So if that's the case, and both PS5 codes and PC codes, and reviewers can use whatever they want, and they can, maybe some story stuff they don't show off, but they can show up, gameplay wise, anything, then that's a good sign, I think. Ow. Ow. I actually get this. Nope. I gotta say, there's no way I get this revive off, but okay. Had to try. We got the target.
Hallelujah.
I did just find out, however, though, that Gamescom, they're opening, preview event, but like, I guess stage event, right, where they show off games and everything, is literally on the 20th when Black Myth comes out. And I'm like, are you serious right now? Versus
that timing's not excellent.
Well, first it's that, and then literally TGS starts the day that the new Zelda game releases. I was like, are you kidding me?
I mean, that's good. I mean, they could just show it off days of, though. I mean, like the game came out, run some hardcore advertising at the conventions. That's just good advertising. Just good
Not for me, because I had to go to TGS.
You don't have to. You're choosing to. There's a difference. You could stay home and play Zelda. You're just taking one for the team.
I'm gonna make sure Bobby does all the Zelda stuff.
He's gonna be playing it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's got to play it and then make content on it.
But I don't think he's gonna be. What I'm saying is, it's gonna be a couple days, I imagine.
Oh, I imagine. Oh, I got one thing. Any support or any medics? No. Medics? Hello? Of course. Fine. Oh, you know what? Let me get a tank. If no one's taking our tank yet, I'll grab our tank. Damn it. Someone got our tank. Oh, is the tank dead or is it alive? Oh, geez, our tank's way in the back here in the corner. Jesus, all right.
Well, thank God it has treads and moves pretty quickly.
Take your new objective.
Allegedly.
Push them out once more. Enemy has been pushed off Bravo 1. Proceed with caution.
Ow. Oh, thank you, teammate. Someone actually revive me. What's killing me? Oh, they're up on the roof. That's where they are. Like, come on. Give me a bone, game. Mate, you're doing God's work right now. Okay, you. Oh, crap. Terrible aim. That was just terrible aim on my part. All right. Yep. I deserve that.
Team, we have captured the target.
Medic? Yes? Medic? No, the medic died. Curse you, enemy team. How dare you kill our medic? Don't you know the rules?
Take your new objective. Push them out once more.
Got some hits. Come on, guys.
We have just commenced our assault.
We go over here? I guess we can. Okay. Oh, they got their vehicle over here. Way over here. Okay. Wonder if he's gonna hop out. He's gotta hop out, dude. No way you stay in the tank.
Your luck. Probably not gonna work out though. He's probably gonna hop out, and then somebody's gonna pop up, shoot you, and he's gonna drive away. I can feel it.
Huh? Apparently not.
All right, never mind.
Smoke deployment in progress. Proceed with caution.
I want to know where the person was that hopped out. That's my question. Tank, push up and help us.
Smoke screen support ready.
Your tank is down. Now's your chance. Crap, I'm not liking the static.
What's the static mean?
I don't know.
Attacking Bravo 2.
It's usually like someone's hacking, but I don't know right now.
It's Hacker Man.
Ow, that dude beamed me.
Our forces are moving to attack Bravo 2.
Oh, did you ever get the chance to play that Visions of Mana game? Or the
Yeah.
demo?
Yeah.
How'd
it
you
was
like
fun. I think the boss was way too bullet spongy.
The octopus?
Yeah, it just took way too long to kill that fucker.
Really? I took him down in like less than, I'd say about 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, man, I just got through playing Elden Ring. Bosses end in like minute tops. Like I'm just sitting here just like burning through once I went through some of the items, I think the bigger issue was just I just didn't feel like I was doing a whole lot of damage. Like I really felt like my characters was either I was playing the game incorrectly or just I just was not pushing enough damage out, which was super not cool. But I liked it. I thought it was fun. I'll probably buy it. The only real negative I had with it was it's a PS2 game for better or for worse. The dialogue feels like it stripped Kingdom Hearts. Like it's not great.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely noticed that. Yeah, I could definitely tell. I was just like, jeez.
I thought it was fine. I definitely am interested in the game now when it comes out. If I pick it up eventually.
Ah, I'm stuck in the tank. Stuck in the tank. There we go. Okay. I healed you up, tank. You better be thankful. Yeah, I think the only thing I personally didn't like about it, and again, like you stated, it definitely felt like, again, that kind of PS2 era style of game for better and for worse. Is some of the menus were a little like not overly crowded, but like it took a while to get to certain things sometimes. So for example, like when you got new armor and everything, or new weapons, like if you bought it or you found it outright, it allowed you to attach it automatically. But I like to look at, you know, what the details were and everything. But in order to look at, say, for example, some of like the magic attacks, which you could then switch between characters if you wanted to and everything, you had to like click on the character, then you had to scroll down on like the side of the screen where all of like, you know, items and armor and all that stuff is. Click on it, and then there's like within that, like we'll call it the magic section of your character, essentially, right? There are like 3 sections where you could look at like, you know, all magic that you can possibly use, magic you're currently using, and then in order to like remove it or attach something new or anything like that, you had to go over to like a 3rd section of it. Or it was really weird. I was just like, I hope that's fixed if possible. I doubt it, because, you know, the game's about to come out, but I don't know, this is just something I personally noticed.
Yeah. No, I think the game, I mean, I don't think they're gonna make any big change. I think the game's fine as it. The systems are a bit wonky, like you said, but I mean, I think it's a solid game. I will say, it does the kind of the cardinal sin of kind of dropping you too far into the game when it comes to a demo. Like, I like demos where like I kind of get, you know, eased into the game, whereas this demo just kind of threw me into it. I had to like kind of learn on the fly. So I think the game's probably gonna ease you in a lot better than the demo did.
Probably, yeah. I definitely would say
stuff.
that. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. 'Cause that game comes out on the 30th, doesn't it?
This month? Oh man.
I think, right? I could be wrong.
I don't remember.
I don't know. Chat, let me know if I'm right on that. If you guys got a chance to play the Visions of Mana demo, it's out on right now, I think, for all platforms. In terms of the demo. The game's released on everything. Yeah, I was an idiot for trying to revive our teammate. Oh, the guy's way over there. Damn. Oh, shit.
Targets will be neutralized. We are attacking Charlie 1.
No, I got behind the barrel. No, come on. I call shenanigans. I blame Lemon, though. Let's be perfectly honest. All Lemon's fault.
Oh, hurtful.
We are attacking Charlie 1. Capture this last stand and victory is ours.
We're trying, but we gotta get C1. If we get C1, then we can get C2 a lot easier. I got that guy. Oh, tank, right on. Come on in, tank. Ow.
We have neutralized objective Charlie 1.
There we go. Got all these medics around me, and yet no one's coming for me. Medic, you're coming. No one's around. Gimme. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Oh, God. Oh, he survived.
Enemy focusing on Charlie 1.
Okay, we got C1.
This is command.
Did we win?
Taking all objectives.
All right, let's go. There's a victory right there.
Outstanding performance.
Love to see it. Alrighty. Did you see the articles that I posted in the chat earlier?
I did.
Okay, why don't we go ahead and start on some of those things? I don't want to keep you up too late. Oh, it's already 9:30 your time.
Okey-dokes.
Oh, hey, I unlocked that M4A1 assault rifle I was looking at. Nice.
Nice.
All right, then. Before I do anything, then let's unlock that. Equip. And let's level you up real quick. Upgrade. I do like doing that, I'm not gonna lie. Kind of like that. All right, optic. All right, now I gotta modify it. Optics. I want that holographic sight. Probably that one. Yeah, I think that one. No, actually this one. This is the one I want. Go with that one. Jesus, how many things can you freaking attach to this weapon? My God, look at this thing. Look at this.
It's a lot of attachments.
Okay, how about my grip? People like this thing. This thing's gonna be a freaking laser beam. I want a bipod. I don't really need any flashlights or anything. Those are all locked. Okay. Don't need a long barrel. This is all kind of the same stuff, but okay. See anything here I could attach to it? I'll install you for right now. Stock. Oh, another grip. Geez, another grip on this thing. My God. Gear mount? Okay. That. Bag, no. And then finally this. Sure. Why not? Number go up. Must mean good.
Big number good.
Big number go up. Big number good. Okay. Set up then for some good old chatter. I've already put 5.5 hours into this little alpha.
That's
Yeah,
actually a lot more time I was expecting you to say.
What you're expecting me to say, like 15,000 hours?
No, as in I was expecting you to say like a couple, not.
I mean, yeah, I've played it a few times. So I mean, oh, crap. I hope I did not just royally mess everything up. I think I might have.
Way to go.
Yeah, I definitely messed.
What did you do?
I accidentally turned my monitor off.
Why?
Trying to press a button to go in between. I have to go between one monitor for particular screens. I was just like, oh, crap. But everything looks like it's working okay. As long as that is all good. Okay. So, there we go. All right, well, projector. Love it when you really mess up. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay. Now that that's there, let's talk about some topics. So why don't we talk about the want to talk about the Witcher news? You liked The Witcher 3, didn't you?
I love The Witcher 3.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Whatever. All right. There we go. Finally. And then, of course, the final thing that we actually have to do is make sure that I actually hit the recording button.
That's always a good start.
Yeah, kind of, just a tad, just a little bit. Okay. All right. Oh, it started. Yeah. Okay. Going. Recordings are working. Data. All I care about. Kind of important, you know?
Just a little bit.
All right. Need water? You're all good to go.
I think I'll top my glass off. Be right back.
How's that 11? It came out in 2015. A million units, baby. Woo! All right. Obviously, Renegade James, cut this out, obviously, until we actually start the recording. But I'll have that little timestamp there. It's not long or anything. Oh.
All right, I'm back.
Awesome. All right. Ready to go?
Yep.
All right. If you ask any old gamer back in the day, what was his favorite game? And by old days, I mean 2015, technically. Then more likely than not, you're going to hear about a little game called The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 is just, it's an amazing game. If you haven't played it, what is wrong with you? Go play it. Yes, it came out in 2015, but guess what? It puts a lot of games even to this day to shame. Single player, tons of content available, not to mention the expansion that was released. You play it on PC. There are tons of mods for the game, which just make it infinitely better. And it holds up to this day, in my personal opinion. Not to mention the fact, not to mention the fact that it actually has now sold 50 million units as of March 2023. And FYI, the time of this recording is August 2024. So I'm sure it's sold even more. Again, you can find it on sale on Steam, on PlayStation, on Xbox, you name it. I think you might even be able to play it on the Switch. I could be wrong on that, but regardless, you can pretty much play it anywhere. So bottom line, The Witcher is an amazing game. So when you hear something like The Witcher 4 is going to be, made and everything, everyone is super stoked. And one of the cool, interesting things about this is that it's actually using the Unreal Engine 5. Now, the reason for this, I think, is because they've actually taken the Red engine that made The Witcher 3, and they really toned that to the Cyberpunk 2077. So probably trying to tune it back towards The Witcher might not be the easiest thing. But they've also commented themselves, aka CD Projekt Red, who are the makers of The Witcher 3, Witcher 4, and Cyberpunk 2077, which, by the way, if you haven't played that game, definitely go try it out. Obviously released in a terrible state, but it's actually really good right now. But they've actually talked about how there's a lot of stuff with Unreal Engine 5 that's being custom built for them when they're, I guess, talking with Epic and everything to make this, I guess, next game really stand out graphically and feature and all that kind of stuff. So apparently, whatever they're working on when it comes to Unreal Engine 4 or Unreal Engine 5, it's going to be working out really well. But today we actually got this little bit of extra news when it comes to The Witcher 4, saying that Garlet, the main character that we've known from The Witcher 3 and obviously the TV show, is not going to be the main character, but will be featured in the game, which makes sense because if you played The Witcher 3, you know that that is a very clean ending to that character arc and everything, and that character himself, right? So it makes sense not to have him be the main character in The Witcher 4, but again, he'll be in the game, just he's not going to be the main character, and someone else is going to be the main character. And who claims this? Well, apparently one of the actors claims it. So according to this little article right here, speaking as part of an interview, Doug Cockley, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, commented on the fourth game, which is currently in development at Polish studio CD Projekt Red. The Witcher 4 has been announced. I can't say anything about it. Shocker, they can't say anything about a game that doesn't have any trailers or nothing, basically. Like, we literally have a poster, and that's basically it, right? Other quotes, though. We know that Garlet will be part of the game. We just don't know how much. The game won't focus on him, though. So it's not So it's not about him this time. We don't know who it is, but I'm excited to find out. He has also claimed that he has yet to see a script for the game. 2/3 of CD Projekt Red are currently working on the next game in the Witcher series, codenamed Polaris. As revealed during an earnings conference in the publisher's FY of 2023 earnings in March 2024, the development team now sits at 403 people working on this game. So they're almost in full swing in terms of trying to make this game and everything, which is definitely really cool. There have also been some rumors apparently that we'll be playing as this particular female character right here instead of Garlet. Obviously that makes sense if he's not gonna be the main character and everything. Joint CEO Michael, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name because I'm going to butcher it, so I am terribly sorry. I'm not going to try and do that. Explained at the time that following the release of Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, the number of staff working on that game had dropped to just 17, with others being distributed to other projects. The player's team, on the other hand, has grown to over 400 developers, reaching its target size for entering production phase. This is scheduled for the second half of this current year. So that means probably production has started by now, which is definitely a good sign. This is an increase from the previous November, where it was revealed that almost 330 developers were working on the project, making it CDR's biggest development team at that time. So they're going full swing. And basically, we've already known that the Cyberpunk 2077 stuff is basically done, but that means that The Witcher 4, that is full steam ahead. That is the next game right there. So joined by me always is our own Lemon here. Lemon, what are your personal thoughts when it comes to hearing about The Witcher 4? Is there something in particular you want to see from that? Are you disappointed that we're not going to be able to play as the same character from The Witcher 3? What are your just raw thoughts on this? I know you love The Witcher personally.
I think I'm going to play it regardless of Geralt being the main character or not. I mean, in 3, good chunk of the game you play as Ciri, so I'm guessing more of the game will be with her. Like, the problem is it's been so long since I played 3, and I don't remember what the considered canon ending was for it, because
yeah, it's been a while since I played as well, so I don't remember.
It changed kind of how the fourth game would potentially work.
Right.
But the only call out is I hope it releases in a better state than Cyberpunk did.
I mean, yeah, it didn't help that Cyberpunk was also trying to release on 2 consoles that clearly were not able to handle it, aka the PS4 and the Xbox One. Neither of those consoles were really meant to handle a game of that size and structure and everything. Not to mention the fact that the higher ups at CDR definitely were just like, yeah, let's just release it, even though it's in a crappy state right now. And that has definitely come back to bite them in the butt. I will give them props though. They didn't just drop the game, unlike tons of other games in the past in terms of other publishers and everything. They stuck with it. And if you've played Cyberpunk 2.0, or basically Cyberpunk 2.1 now in terms of the updates that they have, not to mention the Phantom Liberty DLC, they made a lot of amazing changes. And it's a very good game now. It is a very good game. Some people even say, though, back when it was originally released, there were things in the game that were very good and worth praising. It's just that the technical issues and everything when it came to Cyberpunk were just overshadowed everything. So it's interesting to look back on that from December 2020 when that game initially released. Because I personally remember when I played it myself, I got it for PC. And this was back in the day when I only had a 1080 to try and play this game, right? So I was trying, because I heard about the consoles. I was like, God, my PS4 is going to like blow up probably. So I'm like, maybe the PC can somewhat handle it. I'm just trying to hit 1080, 60. That's all I'm trying to hit essentially. And it it never crashed on me, actually. I didn't really have any problems, but I obviously know that there were a ton of technical issues with the game. Everything else that we obviously saw that was swept under the rug, or they tried to, and then everyone found out, and you're just like, yeah, no, this isn't working. So I'm definitely excited to see what they can do with The Witcher 4, especially with Unreal 5. I know Unreal 5 definitely has a rocky history, to say the least, in terms of engines, with all the games that we've seen, as you clearly yourself, Lemon. But if somebody like Epic is working with them, or people of the Unreal Engine are working closely with CDPR, because I know that they said the reason they also switched over to Unreal Engine 5 is the point that it makes it easier to hire people, right? You don't have to try and teach them some proprietary engine that you yourself have created, especially when it's in a different language that a lot of people probably don't speak. That's definitely a really good sign right there. But I just hope that they're able to work around with Unreal 5. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong on this, but there are certain features within Unreal 5 that just make things not really work. And I don't remember exactly what the settings are, but there's some kind of like, I think it's like luminous lighting or something, or there's something in the engine and some feature in the engine where either developers don't really know how it works, or it's not working well with how the way games are made, and the feature like can just really kill a game sometimes. I don't remember exactly what it was. Do you happen to remember by any chance?
No, but if it has to do with lighting and it has to do with physics around lighting, it's going to absolutely kill your frames.
Right.
The reason why ray tracing is so brutal is because it's a newer technology, but it requires a stupid amount of computations to do. So.
Okay. So hopefully, I mean, we obviously know they try to use ray tracing for all the big marketing mumbo jumbo, essentially. So here's hoping that The Witcher 4, it will obviously have it. It will. Don't be surprised that that it will. But here's hoping that they're able to find, I guess, a sweet spot when it comes to how optimized the game is, and just I really, really hope they optimize the game. I guess is my big thing, right? Especially when using an engine that is known to have a lot of technical issues, or it feels like maybe a lot of publishers really try to just lean into the NVIDIA DLSS, or the equivalent on AMD, to just let that kind of AI generated stuff help out in terms of really trying to make sure the game is optimized and everything. I guess that's my wish, essentially, when it comes to this particular news and everything. And in terms of the character, coming back to the original new article that we literally just got yesterday, I'm excited regardless, just like you. I don't care if we play as one of the characters from the previous game. I don't care if we play as a brand new character. I don't care. It's going to be The Witcher. It's going to be awesome. And hey, it's going to have some callbacks to the old games like The Witcher 3 and everything like that. And the more I talk about this, I just want to go play The Witcher 3 again. So, probably definitely will once we start to really see some trailers and, they really go into marketing mode to start releasing the game. I'm definitely going to be playing the game again right before 4 releases, whenever that happens. If I had to take a wild guess, I'm going to say probably The Witcher 4 would release somewhere in 2026 at the earliest would be my guess, but realistically I'm going to say 2027, 2028, sometime
next gen.
There. Yeah, next gen already, right? Which then unfortunately means that we're going to have another Cyberpunk on our hands where they try to release it on the last gen consoles and it's not working out.
Maybe last gen is in PS4 and VCR Xbox skin.
Oh god. Oh, god.
But we still haven't got rid of them yet, so
I mean most of that is just simply due to the fact that everyone simply tries to put all those live service games onto there because that's where all the money is, because everyone keeps playing Fortnite and Warzone and everything, and that's a big money thing right there. So hopefully though this is not a live service game, so they're going to be like, nope, you want to play this, you got to either upgrade your PC or you got to buy the new console. That's what I'm personally hoping for. So it should be interesting regardless though.
Yeah.
Perfect. That was like a good little 10-minute video. Perfect timing. Not too long, not too
awesome.
bad or anything. Let me check the time. 13 minutes. Actually, no, technically 10 minutes because 2 to 3 of those minutes were you getting your drink. So
cool.
All right. We'll do one more real quick. Then I'll let you go off the bed.
What's up?
What's up?
Oh, hey, Bobby. Hey, you're just in time. I thought we'd talk about the Take-Two and Xbox drama.
Oh, you know me, Talon. I'm here to talk my shit.
Let me just get some more water real quick and then we'll start up real quick.
How's it going, Lemon?
It's going. Other than it being Monday tomorrow, it's going pretty well.
It's my last week of freedom before I start my new job. We're not going to talk about where I'm starting my job because apparently they don't like that. But
yeah. Most places don't like you revealing stuff like that. It's funny at my job, they have this huge, giant, long, PDF just talking about how, oh yeah, if you say you're part of the company, you can't say these things. But if you ever reveal that you're even attached to this company, you still can't say these things. Even if you say, I'm a private citizen, I'm saying these things, you still can't say it. So it's like, okay, so that's cool, I guess. So I'm just never going to say my actual name out here. Because, it's not worth it.
Just for everyone watching, his real name is Todd Lemonovsky.
Yes.
Yeah.
My on PlayStation, because you have like the real name thing, so you have like, your screen name or gamer tag or whatever they call it on there, and you get like a real name. So I put the real name as Lemonius T. Fivington.
There you go. Absolutely.
Isn't that the same PlayStation name you've used since like the PS3 days, if I remember correctly?
Lemon 5?
Lemon 5.
No, I've had that since the Xbox Live, like the original Xbox. And what's funny is, so I had my own account. I bought it, Xbox Live, the original one, and my brother and I would use it. And then I think he had the 360 and I had the PS3, and he just kept using the 360. And so he effectively took my account over, the Lemon 5 account on Xbox Live. And so I then, over time, I was like, I have to get my account back, but it's still attached to his email. So I made another one called The Real Lemon 5.
The Real Lemon 5.
Eventually, I think I did get I take it back. He still has the original Lemon 5 on Xbox Live. I think I've just kept the real Lemon 5.
Okay.
Just kept with it.
Did you want to I mean, we don't have to do it with Lemon because I know he's probably got to go to bed. But did you want to discuss the Tango info, the Tango news?
We talked about it a little bit on stream, and I caught some clips of it and everything.
Okay, that's fine. All
So,
I'm gonna say is that what's his name? The game director for Hi-Fi Rush. His tweet had more likes than people finished that fucking game. So, like, and. Yeah, the other thing is with that, I was just like, where are they gonna put the loot crates, man? Like,
we were talking about that. It's like, how are you gonna game it? How are you gonna put gotcha shit in there?
The only thing was that I saw. I don't know if this is true or not or what the case is, but I heard that they've apparently kept the team around.
Yes, that's what I've heard. Yep.
Yeah. So if they wanted to, they could pitch a new game. If they'll be allowed to, I don't really know. But regardless, it's not like
they bought the Hi-Fi Rush IP, so I would fucking hope they'd be continuing that. But again, the question comes down to it's Crafton. Yeah. So what kind of hyper monetization are they going to put in there?
Well, and then one thing I mentioned with Lemon was that because they're based in South Korea, right? And we've been kind of seeing this trend where a lot of these publishers from South Korea, they've mostly been known for gacha games and mobile games and everything, but now they're trying to break into the single player and console space essentially, right? So
like Stellar Blade, right?
Right, exactly. So if they have bought Tango and they allow them to make, let's just say they make Hi-Fi Rush 2 as an example, they allowed them to make that very similar to how the publishers of Stellar Blade and everything, then hey, I'm all for it. You want to have your mobile stuff over here and you've got your real good console stuff over here and you keep them separate completely, I'm 100% okay with that. 100% fine with that. But again, it's just one of those things that we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I hope for the best. I really do, but it's Crafton. I don't fucking trust those people. PUBG is awful now. Oh my god.
I think I haven't touched PUBG and I think Lemon and I played it back in like 2019.
The wildest thing about PUBG is that PUBG has been out for 8 years. And nothing about PUBG has evolved except for the monetization. Like literally the only thing they've actually put work into is like, okay, so the guns still have fucking hit registration issues. There's still rubber banding everywhere. It looks like ass. Like the draw distance is still dog shit. And yet, like, there's just, you can buy skins and you can buy loot crates and you can buy keys to open those loot crates if you want to open them. Like, fuck you off. Like, Jesus.
It's at 198,000 players right now. 24-hour peak is 677. Damn.
From my understanding, a lot of that is they have a very large Chinese player base.
I'm not surprised. Yep. I am absolutely not surprised at all.
Yeah.
China number one.
I mean, here's Max.
Number one is hard to say.
Yeah, you don't. So again, because I'm a degenerate and a weirdo, I really enjoyed the lobbies of PUBG. Just a bunch of people screaming effectively. It made me nostalgic for Call of Duty lobbies, and they'd always yell China number one. Among a bunch of other things I'm not going to repeat because I don't want you guys to get demonetized, but that was one of the funnier ones to me.
I appreciate that, Lemon. I appreciate you looking out.
You're more than welcome to text us that later, though, exactly what they said, because I would love
I'm trying to find the video because I feel like you and I streamed it, Talon.
Oh, God, we did stream that all those years ago, didn't we? God, that was back when. That was back when I think when I started. What? Wait.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, God, I was still living back down in West Japan, like Kansai area. Damn, that was so long ago.
You're old man.
Don't remind me. 33. What am I gonna do, right?
You get older, like the rest of us.
Unfortunately.
That's what you're gonna do.
Hey, you're younger than I am, so I know it's only about like a month and a half or so, but you know.
Whoop-de friggin' do.
I'm older than both of you. I don't want to hear it.
Don't worry. I just go with what my sister says. The 30s are the new 20s, so
they really are.
I stick with that. All right, you guys ready to go then? I'm ready to go if you guys are, because I don't want to keep Lemon up too much later, because I know it's almost 10 p.m. All right. Hit the recording button. Make sure everything's good. Going perfect. Okay, no messing up here or anything, or this could be a real funny recording. Is the way I'm going to. Okay. Okay, here we go. Probably one of the biggest hyped games coming out in 2025 is going to be GTA 6. You ask almost any gamer online, you talk about anything coming out next year who is not a fan of one particular type of genre, and they are going to be saying, yeah, I'm ready to see what GTA 6 is going to look like. And to be perfectly honest, if you asked me that, I'd probably say it's going to be GTA 5, but prettier and different city and different characters. Like that's essentially what it is, right? But like the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? It's like those people who got mad or upset when a game like God of War 2018 going to Ragnarok didn't drastically change. And I'm like, why would you expect that? But regardless, I'm getting off topic though. One of the biggest games, as we all know, is going to be GTA 6. And recently, the CEO of Take-Two, the publishers of GTA 6, have come out saying that they still won't put AAA games on the subscription services on day one at launch, which, if you know, is basically a stab at Xbox Game Pass and then putting games like Black Ops 6 onto that service right there. And damn, did the internet have some fun with that. I mean, this is literally saying the quiet part out loud, essentially, when it comes to what a lot of us are thinking. Now, if you don't know, Game Pass has had some ups and a lot of downs recently, with everything from the price changes that we've seen. We've covered all of that on the channel, by the way. If you haven't seen those, go and check them out. But there's been a lot of price changes. They've actually taken away some of the tiers of Game Pass, and now to get day and day, so basically brand new games on the day that they release on Game Pass, you have to be an Ultimate subscriber. Anything else below that, you don't get day and day. out. And one of the biggest games coming to Game Pass this particular year in 2024 is going to be Call of Duty Black Ops 6. And there's been a lot of talk around the internet saying like they're kind of damned if they do, damned if they don't. If they don't put Call of Duty on to Game Pass, then that is a bunch of broken promises that the Xbox community is going to feel. However, if they do put it on there, which by the way, they are doing it, then that is a lot of potential lost revenue right there, because what's going to happen, right? Obviously, your diehard fans are going to buy the game because that's all they play for year in and year out, and that's just going to stay the same thing. But the hope, obviously, is that having this on Game Pass day one is going to drive the subscriber numbers up, and obviously Xbox wants those to stay there. But in reality, what happens is that when something big comes on the Game Pass, you'll see a lot of people jump on to try and play it day one because it's much cheaper, right? It's, you know, basically paying $20 for that month to play a brand new AAA game and everything. And then a month or two later, they just cancel it. And then those numbers go down and everything. We started the exact same thing with Starfield and everything. And then the numbers went down. They still try to spin it that it's going this way. But in reality, as we've seen through financial reports and everything, that's not the case. Game Pass essentially has leveled out. Obviously, your hardcore Xbox players are still going to be the ultimate subscribers and everything, which is normal. That's happened since day one. But in terms of those new people coming in or people that they're trying to bring over from other platforms or everything, they'll get it, and then they just cancel it after a month or two. So they get that initial boost right there and some revenue and everything, but they don't keep it at that particular level that they want to, or it doesn't continue to grow essentially. So when we see something like this, you know, a lot of people are questioning, okay, is Call of Duty going to make the difference here? Because if it doesn't, a lot of people are wondering, is Microsoft going to step in and just be like, yeah, this whole day and date thing, stop it. Just stop it right now. Keep the service, you know, for older games and everything, but stop the day and day because we are losing money, and, you know, Big Daddy Microsoft is basically going to come in and put their foot down. So when we see an article like this where Take-Two CEO Zelnick says his company still has no plans to release its AAA titles on subscription services on their day of release, it's no surprise that they don't. In fact, if I remember correctly, Bobby, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe we saw in the FTC hearing that Xbox tried to get GTA 5 onto Game Pass, and it was going to cost them a lot of money. I think it was like $5 million per month or something like that to get it onto Game Pass. I could be completely wrong on that, and I will try to search it as you comment on this, but I think that's what happened. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'll let you talk here in just a second. But one thing I will note right here says, he quoted by Zelnick himself, he says, I think that offering a frontline title with a premium price in a subscription service day and date will push consumers to that subscription service for at least a period of time. However, when asked whether it would change whether it would change how Take-Two views putting day or one game on subscription service, he's replied, no, it won't affect our decisions because our decisions are rational. Insert burn mean there, editors galore. So, Bobby, what are your personal thoughts on this? I want two things from you. A, what are your personal thoughts on this? I kind of already know, but just for the viewer's sake. And two, did they try, if I'm remembering correctly, did they try to get GTA 5 on the Game Pass and it was going to cost a shit ton of money? Go.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Strauss Zelnick from Take-Two is literally just saying what Bobby Kotick said, that putting something that valuable on Game Pass is stupid. He knows it, and I mean, Phil Spencer knows it. Like, they all know it. They're hoping that it's going to drive enough subscriptions that the model actually turns profitable. And I mean, that's a good idea, but it's different when it's a game, because like gamers are much more, I don't know, gamers are much more kind of willing to play the game of like, I'm going to subscribe and not subscribe, right? Like, I like to imagine my parents, you know, like, are they going to not subscribe to Netflix because there's not any new shows right now? No, they're just going to keep it so they can turn it on and look around, right? It's just like cable, right? You didn't, like, back in the day, you didn't, you know, unsubscribe to your cable. Like, you couldn't, but you didn't do it either way. And with gamers like me, I played Starfield then. I didn't have a Game Pass subscription for like 4 months or something until the next thing came out. And same thing with Hellblade. I played Hellblade in June, and then my Game Pass lapsed, and I haven't turned it back on. They have a free month of PC Game Pass going on right now that I might grab like the day before it expires, so I can get that long tail value out
NVIDIA
of
deal
it.
over on
Yeah,
their
on
app
the
and everything.
NVIDIA app, which
Yep.
is cool. Get that if you're watching this and you didn't know about it. The NVIDIA app has a free month of PC Game Pass for you. But yeah, like people are willing, like as gamers, to just not, hop on Game Pass. I mean, Chin does the same thing. If there's something that he like really wants to check out, like when he really wanted to check out Starfield, he did that. And it's just the way that gamers are willing to work. We're willing to wait for sales. A lot of gamers, especially on PC, because we know that eventually on PC it'll be like $15, right? When I got GTA 5, it was like $12 or something. I still have not played that game, but if I gave them money for it, they got $12 from me that they wouldn't have otherwise gotten. So, they're kind of winning. Now, that being said, that game had already been out for like 5 years or something by the time I paid that much for it.
Right.
So they're very much in the long tail sales game at that point. But yeah, there was that conversation from the FTC hearing where they said I think it was like 3 or 5 million a month. Which, imagine if they try and keep it on for a year, right? That's going to be 36 million if it's only 3 million.
Right.
You
Well,
know?
so this little article, sorry to cut you off, but this little article right here from Polygon, this was back on January 2nd, 2024, so this year. And it talks about how Game Pass ended in 2023 with a strong lineup. And then for 2024, 2024 will kick off with a handful of big games leaving the subscription service, including Grand Theft Auto 5, Persona 3 Portable, and Persona 4 Gold. And now I believe the Persona games were due to the Persona 3 remake or something like that, even though I'm pretty sure Atlas and Microsoft are always in bed together, essentially, like all companies are, essentially. But Grand Theft Auto 5 was leaving. And then it even makes a note down here. Grand Theft Auto 5 will complete its 3rd tour on Xbox Game Pass this month. Rockstar's Games open world crime epic was re-added to Game Pass in July of 2023. GTA 5 was previously made available on Xbox Game Pass from April to August of 2021, and before that on January to May of 2020. Like those first 2 runs, GTA 5 was only available to Xbox One and Series X subscribers. Both versions of the game are available, though it could be cloud streamed to mobile devices or a PC. And then it also makes a mention that is currently available at the time of this article, at least, is on PlayStation Plus Extra. So GTA 5 currently is available on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 with PlayStation Plus Extra, Sony's mid-tier of its PlayStation Plus service. So yeah, and then like you said, with the FTC hearing, we saw that it was like 5 million a month or something like that. So them only keeping it on there for a short time, I mean, that's a lot of money to keep that game on there. I mean, it makes sense, right? GTA 5 online alone makes a ton of money for Rockstar and Take-Two, right? And if I remember correctly, the GTA 5 sales, they've surpassed like 120 million or something like that. So that's obviously high, crazy numbers right there. But yeah, it just kind of show, again, they're saying the stuff that a lot of us are most likely thinking when it comes to putting certain games on a subscription service day one. Obviously, sales are not going to be your main thing right there. You're going to focus on trying to get those subscription numbers up. That's what something like Game Pass or Netflix or Disney Plus or any of that kind of stuff does, right? It doesn't matter about someone going out and buying the DVD set box of, Lost or something like that, right? It's about making sure they stay subscribed to your service. But obviously Take-Two's CEO is just like, yeah, no, we deal in rational thinking here, and we are not going to be putting GTA 6 on a subscription service, because guess what? It's going to sell like hotcakes, and we're not going to lose out on that money, essentially. So, Lemon, what are your personal thoughts on all this? I want to get your ideas.
First of all, why is he even commenting? When I saw this, I was like, why are they asking him?
Apparently, it's in an interview with Game Industry's Biz.
No, I mean, I skimmed it. I'm just like, it just seems kind of irrelevant, but I digress. I mean, I get what they're coming at with this, but I think comparing Black Ops 6 to GTA 6 is absolutely wrong. I think it's the absolute wrong mentality. I will die on this hill. Call of Duty makes its money on DLC and shit like that. I do not think the discs make that much money anymore. I'll die on that hill. I don't care. I'm convinced Warzone's the moneymaker there. So putting on Game Pass, I don't think is as big a deal as people make it out. It's a big deal, but it's not like absolutely gonna sink a ship, right? But I mean, it's kind of, if it was any other CEO, I would be a little more lenient, I guess. But this is the head honcho of Take-Two. I was waiting for my single player DLC for GTA 5. And did I get it? No. Why did I not get it? Because they made too much fucking money on the shark cards. So like, I don't like this guy a whole lot. Is he right about not putting GTA on a subscription service, the 6? Sure. But my tinfoil hat theory of the night is I think they're going to build their own subscription service, and I think they're going to make GTA Plus because they already have the GTA Plus like subscription service, which gives you shark card money and you get access to like Red Dead and stuff. They do a really piss poor job advertising it. I'm not sure why I even know about it, but I do somehow. I think they're going to do a plus, and they're going to make you pay like $20 a month, and they'll just include GTA Online or something. Not the single player, but just the online part. Just because I feel like that's their big money maker. Free to play is shown to make lots of money. So you have effectively a free to play pseudo or subscription service GTA 6 just online. I think that's gonna be their play. That's my tinfoil hat there.
Correct me if I'm wrong though. Wasn't GTA 5 released first, and then the whole online thing released after that?
Online wasn't released for a long time after. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
So
they'll most likely do the same thing then with 6 would be my guess.
I think they would push the game back before they would do that again, just because online is where the money's at. If GTA Online wasn't a thing, I do not think GTA 5 would be as big of a hit as it has been.
I'd actually agree with
massive.
That. I'd agree with that personally. But I'm just saying though, when 6 comes out, right?
I think be day and date. You get both of them at the same time. I don't know.
Do you think the multiplayer, Bob? What do you think? Do you think the multiplayer, like that online, like so GTA, call it GTA 6 Online, call it GTA Online plus, whatever you want to call it? Do you think that releases at the same time as 6, or do you think 6 will release? They'll keep what the current GTA Online is to try and really push GTA 6 sales and everything, and then update or release some big 2.0, 3.0 update thing for GTA Online. What do you think?
Remember that they knew what was going on with GTA 5 when Red Dead came out, and they still did their traditional model of, hey, we're going to release the single player and then release the online. They like to get their flowers and all that for their because their single players are great. Like, let's be real. I didn't play GTA 5, but I played all the other ones. And I played the Red Deads, and they're good at what they do, like with single player games. And they know that if they release that, they're going to get those like 95 Metacritic scores before they start, charging little Billy 8-year-old, a ton of money on his mom's credit card.
Billy, take your mom's credit card.
They absolutely know that if they do that, they're going to make their initial sales. And then once the initial sales kind of start to wane, it's like the month in, then they release the online so that if you are a holdout, you got all your friends go like, dude, the campaign was so good, and now the online's out, and the online's like amazing, it's way better than 5, and so they get more sales again. They can keep the game because now they've added a full featured online. They can keep the game full price longer too, right? Without having to do any kind of sale for much longer that way, and with much less explanation as to why it's so much. So I think they will use the same model they've been using, just because that's their whole MO. But I mean, I guess it wouldn't be insane if they did it day and date. But personally, I think they're just going to stick to
what they've done
stick
before.
to the way they do it, just to get their flowers. And because like a lot of times now with microtransactions, those will be something to sink a review score.
Yep, that's true too. Yep, that is true. So they'll keep them off for a bit, and then after the sales happen, a month into the game's launch, then they're like, oh yeah, here, by the way, bazillion microtransactions.
But I don't think GTA could get away with that. Pulling the rug out from under you with microtransactions, just because I mean, that is their moneymaker. I don't
Oh,
think
well,
they're
I mean-
going to want to do a month, even that, of not having shark cards.
Well, no, because they're still going to get all that money. I mean, if you think that GTA 6 isn't going to sell minimum in the first month, minimum double-digit millions, minimum.
But I'm a board member on Take-Two, and you're telling me you're going to leave money on the table? Are you kidding me?
Are they? They're not leaving money on the table though, because
So you buy- so
the
Little
current
Timmy's gonna
GTA
buy
line's
the
still
game.
online though, so you can still go
Well,
buy
Timmy's going
those.
to buy the GTA 6 or get it for Christmas, and you're not going to have shark cards lined up for him to use steal someone's credit card for?
But there are shark cards though. They still have it in the current GTA line.
And the current, I'm telling you, the new one, they can double dip. I think they're going to keep GTA 5 online running. They have GTA 6 online and running. There's no reason to shut down the old one.
I don't think I think it's going to tie in, and if you own GTA 6, you're going to get a bunch of new stuff.
Oh, sure, yeah, but I think they're still going to keep 5 going, and I think they're going to want to have 6 online going. 2 streams of shark cards.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where obviously we're not part of the like you said, we're not part of the board or anything like that. Logically, business wise, it would make sense to do everything that Lem's talking about, but at the same time, based on what they've done in the past, it's hard to say what they're going to do these days. But then again, this is also a studio that takes 10 years to make a game. So
I don't think, well, I mean, I don't know. We don't really know how long it took them to make GTA 6. I think they very well could have been waiting a long time just because they could.
Oh yeah,
It's the same thing.
They were definitely
Nintendo's doing
coasting,
Mario
probably.
Kart.
okay, then I will change the way I said that. It didn't take them 10 years to make GTA 6, but they wait
10 years to release it.
10 years to make all this money and then start the new game, right?
Yeah. They skipped a whole generation.
Yeah, they skip a generation essentially, right? So, and then a lot of people are also predicting that this is also going to be when PlayStation announces a PlayStation 5 Pro, and this is what's going to push everyone to finally adapt to the Series X and the PlayStation 5 and finally get off PS4 and everything. I still don't think a lot of people are going to get off PS4, especially because again, Call of Duty is still going to be on there, Fortnite's still be on there, so why would you do it, right?
I think what's going to happen is GTA is going to be because GTA has that power to say, oh, the next GTA Online experience is going to be so revolutionary that you need this new hardware. And when they do that, everyone else is going to be like, okay, you know what? They've done it, so we're making, we're going to make the next Fortnite in 8 months. Like, how they have like Fortnite Chapter 4 or whatever. Like, every time they restart Fortnite,
They've done it like 5 times now.
Yeah, they've done it a couple times at least, right? But like next time they do that, they're going to be like, hey, it's going to be next gen only, because I think they're going to let Take-Two kind of use their brand power to do. Like Take-Two can easily get away with it, right? It's kind of like Call of Duty. Call of Duty could have gotten away with it, but Activision and now Microsoft is not going to leave that money on the table, especially Microsoft, right? They're not right now going to leave any money on the table. But for Take-Two, they're going to go, you're going to buy whatever it takes to play GTA 6. So go ahead and buy an Xbox Series XS or a PlayStation 5, because that's what we made it for. So deal. And people will. And that's cool. But like, I really think a lot of people are going like, oh, is that the thing? And I'm like, yeah, that's the thing. That's going to be, what gets so many people into the next gen, right? Is because there hasn't been a company yet to really go like, no, you're going to get the next gen to play our game, or you're going to miss out.
Well, and they're not releasing it on PC. We know how they prefer to release it on console. So you can't play it on a high-end PC. Is GTA 5 on PC now? I think it is, right?
Oh yeah, I've owned GTA 5 on PC.
That's what I thought.
That's
okay, so regardless,
that was like
6,
2018 or something. I bought it.
6 is still going to be a minimum a year or two away, right? And obviously, I know the hardcore PC crowd, they'll wait, right? They can wait for as long. But there are a lot of casual gamers, they can't, and they will go out and they will get a Series X or a PlayStation 5, whatever the case. I mean, especially if there's some kind of deal that you see, like, get the brand new PlayStation 5 Pro now. It comes free with GTA 6 and a year of GTA Online included. get reserved now, I
Yeah.
could easily see something like that.
But yeah, because they almost guaranteed to have the marketing. Like, I don't care how deep Microsoft's pockets are. They're not gonna win over Sony going, oh yeah, we have like 2/3 of the market share right now, and that means 2/3 of the people at least are going to be buying your microtransactions on our platform. So they automatically win that fight, which sucks for Microsoft, but that's just why Sony got. I mean, basically they announced at the beginning of Gen, like, yeah, we're working with Sony again, because it's just
It's business.
It's
literally
it's business. It's market share. Like,
yeah, literally business.
but yeah, I'm wondering. My biggest wonder is how many of these big companies are we really going to see take this stance? Because we know a lot of them are doing it now, especially the bigger companies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is why you see all these like indie devs, like especially on Twitter, you see a lot of them going, oh, my game is going to Xbox. It's like, oh, okay, so they gave you the Game Pass bag, for like, they gave you $150,000 for your game to go into Game Pass, right? Because otherwise, it might sell like 2,000 copies for $10, right? So you got that bag. Good for those indie devs, because hopefully it can help them make their next game and learn and do all that. But you don't see a lot of huge AAA stuff coming to Game Pass anymore. And a lot of that has to do with Microsoft owns so much now, they don't need to pay for that anymore, right?
That's true. Yeah, they own 2/3 of the industry. It feels like. Well, yeah, the only other people doing their own subscription services are like Ubisoft. Ubisoft has their subscription service, and then EA has theirs as well, right?
So then who's left?
Technically, Take
of the third-party developers, it just should be Take-Two.
Yeah, Take-Two.
They will make their own subscription service too. Do the same thing.
Yep. And if the higher ups are anything just like all the other higher ups and these other companies, they're gonna think it's an easy thing to make a subscription service, but who knows? Maybe they don't.
I don't think so. Not anymore.
I don't think they will. No.
Maybe they were pondering like 3-4 years ago. Maybe they would have done it, but at this point, I feel like that ship sailed. I don't think anyone's gonna like look at subscription services.
It makes me wonder why EA and Ubisoft still try to do it though. Like, it's
a sunken cost fallacy. That's just how businesses run.
Unless it works, maybe like just for something like EA, I could see potentially where you have a thing where with their sports games, right? If you make it available on your subscription service, and then with how much money they make on those microtransactions, it's a good deal right there, which would make more sense, right? I'm not really sure, or it just doesn't matter. They say like, yeah, we put this stuff on there, and we're still making a crap ton of money from our sports games and microtransactions and everything.
It's just not worth their time to get rid of it, I imagine.
That'd be my guess as well. Yeah. So
Ubisoft, I mean, EA makes sense because like you said, the sports DLC, there's like my team's
Ubisoft is what I'm just like,
ridiculous.
Really? Especially because
Ubisoft doesn't have that. Right. They don't have that crazy DLC.
Right. Ubisoft, you got to think it actually does make more sense for them, because how many times have you guys held out and got a Ubisoft game for $10? And if you pay for Ubisoft, Ubisoft Forward, is that what it's called?
Whatever it's ultimate.
Yeah. If you pay for that, that's $18 they're making from you to play the game.
That's true. I'm just more surprised that they're putting Star Wars on there when Star Wars is a big IP and they've got to make their money on that. They've got to make.
I mean, a lot of the reason is because a lot of people don't even know that Ubisoft has a sub service.
I was about to say that
with EA. EA is actually the best value in my opinion because it's only like $5.
It's also on Game Pass.
Yeah, it's included in
Game
Pass
Ultimate.
Yeah, if you have Game Pass
on
Ultimate,
Steam, I have signed up for EA Play, and like originally I did that and played like Dead Space 1 and 2 real quick, and then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy these next time they're on sale.
PlayStation Plus also has an EA. It's combined with EA or something like that. What are the tiers is? I can't remember.
Like extra or something.
Extra,
probably the Premiere, right?
I think so. But I think regardless, though, in the end, it's gonna be an interest. This I guarantee right now. Over the next, I'm going to say year, I'm going to predict that GTA 6 is probably out in the fall of next year, right? So from now, August of 2024 until fall of 2025 it's going to be interesting to see what happens with, because during that time, we're going to see the release of GTA 6. We're going to see the release of Black Ops 6 on a subscription service, while also obviously being available everywhere else, right? So what's going to happen with those particular numbers? And we're just going to see what happens with subscription services generally going forward. As you guys know, if you saw our video before, Bobby and I talked about how Xbox has a lot of stuff coming out now, but it's too overcrowded, as we showed with that particular schedule and everything. How is that going to affect things? Is the price going to increase again in 2025 for something like Game Pass, right? So it's going to be interesting to watch these numbers, at least from my standpoint. I know for your average gamer, probably not, they don't really care anything, but I'm definitely interested to see what's going to happen between now until the time the GTA 6 releases, most likely in the fall sometime. Definitely interested to see where the numbers are and kind of look back over just the timeline and everything. I personally find that interesting. I know a lot of people don't, but we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen there, I think. All right.
Yeah.
Actually a perfect spot to end it right there.
Cool.
And Lemon will let you get to bed now because I know it's probably.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm out. I need to go to
I'm
bed.
out. Peace.
Have a good evening, bud.
Yep. All right.
Take
See
it
you
easy, man.
later.
A little bit of a shorter stream, but overall not too shabby. Got a couple of videos made, which is always good. And I gotta start looking at Gamescom stuff now. See what the heck their schedule is. God, who is planning these event things right now? First Gamescom, now TGS.
They're just after your time, Talon. They're like, he's done with his honeymoon.
I
We're
know,
about to
right?
be all up in his
They're like,
business.
your honeymoon's done, Talon. It's time to get to work. That's why you're doing Zelda. So
I'm wondering, like, that Zelda looks interesting, but I'm wondering how the whole thing's going to tie together.
I honestly have no idea. It should be interesting to say the least, but I'm hoping.
It's like,
I mean,
it's like
it's
the
gonna be a
top
good
down
game.
with
It's gonna be a good
Ultra
game,
Hand. Like,
regardless.
it's absolutely going to be a good game. Like, the more I saw of it, the more I was like, okay, all right. I mean, I already you know me, like, I'm a Zelda.
No way,
Zelda
Bobby
stan.
pre-ordered Zelda. I never would have expected that. Never would have.
The only Zelda games I haven't played are like some of the handheld ones, like Minish Cap and Minish Cap and the Wind Waker sequels. And she was like, "You
Spirit
gotta play
Tracks
those."
or whatever.
Yeah, Spirit Tracks and the other. There's two of them.
Yeah, there's Spirit Tracks and something else. Yeah, I vaguely remember those. Yeah.
Yeah, I just literally had zero interest in those, even back in the day. Like,
Well, not to mention that those were back on the 3DS, and during that time.
well, no, they were on the DS.
I thought one was on the 3DS and one was a DS.
No, one was on the Advance or something.
Oh, it was on the Advance.
Minish Cap was on the Advance, I think.
Right? No. Minish Cap was on the Advance. So I'm talking about the Wind Waker sequels.
No, I think both of those were just on the regular DS. Because the first Zelda on the 3DS was Ocarina of Time.
Wind Waker sequel.
Underrated Zelda, Link Between Worlds. I mean, yeah, it's just a Link to the Past remake, but it's pretty good.
Wind Waker
whole, like,
Spirit
blending in the
Tracks
walls
was
really
on the
rad.
DS and the Wii. Oh, it was on the Wii U. I did not know that.
Wait, what?
I guess.
Oh, maybe in the what's it called? The shop.
The shop, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Phantom Hourglass was the other one, wasn't it? Yeah, Phantom Hourglass.
Yeah.
That was on the Wii U
That
and
was
DS.
it,
So
yeah.
both are DS. Okay. All right. Color
Yeah.
me shocked. All right. 2007 and 2009. They got both those games out. That's impressive.
Oh yeah. Back in the day, especially on the DS, you could crank out a game in like 6 months, easy.
No time whatsoever. Oh,
Dude,
here's
when I worked for EA, we mainly worked on DS, and it was just those games were coming out. I mean, some of those games were made in like 3 months, and you could tell when you were testing them.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could definitely tell right there. So. All
Like,
right.
half the shit in this is misspelled, y'all. Like, Nintendo's not gonna play with that. Come on now.
Well, wasn't it? Were those like Barbie games or whatever, or like those little kid games that the average
Oh,
person would never
dude,
touch, right?
I can't tell you how many like Bratz games, and like, yeah, there was like one of the years we had like, it was like 4 Bratz games that came out all at once, so we had to test like all 4 of them super fast.
Mhm.
And that was just hellish because it was just like 6 you know, like we're basically like they're games made for, you know, young girls to like play through really quickly. So it would take us like we could play through them in like a day,
Yeah.
you know. So we do that, and then they'd eventually just go, yeah, good enough, you know.
I do find it interesting that Tango Gameworks was picked up, but you know, Redfall maker Arcane was not picked up, or Mighty Doom Alpha Dog or anything. They got picked up.
I almost wish that Sony would pick up Arcane.
Oh god, that'd be hilarious.
Like, because I feel like that would be great. Like Sony would just be like, okay, you're Arcane. Like we understand some bullshit, you know, occurred. Your last game, kind of ass, and we're never gonna speak of it again. But yeah, like you should probably make something like Prey 2 for us, and we're gonna market it instead of letting it just sit there and die.
You know, honestly, I think they would have bought them if they didn't buy Bungie. I bet they would.
Yeah, I feel like Bungie is absolutely the worst acquisition they've made in a long time.
Especially when you see an article like this, where the sentiment around Marathon at Bungie is not great, according to Jason Schreier from that.
Oh, I saw
podcast.
that interview too. I don't know if you saw the interview where he was doing it with the Friends Per Second podcast.
I watched the entire. Yeah, I watched that entire section. Yeah.
And he said, you know, it's kind of reminded me of Suicide Squad.
The
and I was like,
moment I
oh,
saw that, I was like, dude, are you
look
kidding? I'm like, oh,
you all can meme on me forever for believing in Suicide Squad, and I still like I picked it up today and I played it for like a half hour, and then I was like, okay, I'm done. But like, let's be real here. Suicide Squad, they had no idea what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
And seeing that with Marathon, seeing Jason Schreier say that about Marathon, I'm like, ugh,
yeah.
No, please.
This isn't like a random YouTuber making a guess or anything. This isn't someone trying to make a name for themselves. This is Jason Schreier. When was the last time he got something wrong? Oh,
yeah, let's be real.
Let's be real here. Like, if someone tells Jason Schreier something and he gathers his sources and everything, it's most likely true.
Yeah, he's got the good hookups.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. I mean, I even saw somebody who's usually very positive, like probably one of the most positive guys when it comes to anything Bungie. If you've ever seen Asdacross, for anyone watching the video or live stream right now. If you've ever seen Asdacross, he's a huge Destiny guy. He also does some other games on the side and everything, but he's a huge Bungie fan. Like, he tries to find the positive, you know, parts of almost anything when it comes to news and everything. But he was live reacting to that particular part of the podcast, and the look on his face, just like, dude must have been so defeated. I was like, damn, that's gotta suck.
Yeah, and like I really don't know. I feel like Sony's like, what the fuck did we do here right now?
Again, tinfoil hat. I'm thinking it's Jim. Jim wanted to go in and do all this, and then Big Daddy Sony came in and was like, "What the f are you doing? You're gonna quit now."
Yeah, I the more and more I think about this, the more like this stuff and like Concord and all this stuff starts coming out, the more I am just like, yeah, maybe he was just kind of pushed out, because we're seeing now his whole live service thing has just completely
stopped,
apart.
right? And I mean, especially when you see someone like Hiroki Totoki, who is the CFO and CEO or COO of Sony, and he's coming in like, no, he's like fixing everything. He says like, no, Bungie, you got to get your numbers and this in order and everything and do all this. You know, we've canned all of these live service stuff and everything. Like, no, we'll probably never know. We will never know 100%, but I would not be surprised if Sony just came in and was like, Jim, you gotta leave. You gotta leave.
Yeah.
You spent way too much money.
After I saw this article, you know, the other day, I tweeted and just said they need to just cut their losses. And I know this is like a burning hole in the fucking ground right now, Marathon.
Right.
Because the more and more we hear about it, the more we hear like, well, it was an extraction. Then the Tarkov players came in and were like, this is some of the most boring shit we've ever seen. And so they're like, oh shit. Then they pivoted to hero extraction. And then they had some people who play hero games come in and they're like, this is fucking boring. Why would we play this? And so now what are they going to do? Like, this is just completely fucked. And the thing is like, as a Destiny, and we've talked about this, Talon, you know, you and me, you know, like on stream, off stream, like how many times have we felt like they're just not investing into Destiny to put it into some other shit?
I mean, and then that's exactly what they did. Like based on everything that's come out recently, that's exactly what they did. We found out
that is exactly what they did.
That's exactly because if you're a longtime Destiny fan, you knew something felt off when, you know, no PvP maps, no focus on. There's a lot of stuff that they weren't really focusing on for Destiny, and all of a sudden we're hearing about all these new projects, Gummy Bear and Marathon and all this other stuff, and you're just like, wait, why aren't you focusing on the thing that's actually making you money right now? Like, I get the idea of not putting all of your eggs in one basket. I 100% understand that, right? But to take away key senior positions in development and everything from your game and then put them onto something completely else, that was not a good move.
Really, what should have happened is Bungie should have taken one idea, narrowed all this shit down to one idea, and been like, okay, what is the most promising idea that we can really do out of all of this shit that we have? And then we're going to have, you know, small teams start to develop that and really see what they can make out of it. All the while, we're cranking out as much stuff as we can for Destiny. We're making this game as great as it can possibly be. Oh, we realized, like, let's say Gummy Bears. Oh, Gummy Bears is really promising. It's starting to feel really good. The ideas are coming together. It's looking good. Okay, now we're going to take off more people. And we're going to say, hey, you know what? We're going to scale back a little bit on Destiny. We're going to make the expansions a little smaller. Final Shape was a fucking monster of an expansion. So we're going to scale down a little bit for the next expansion just because we're working on something else. And we're going to be transparent with that. Not like, hey, we're going to, you know, incubate 5 projects and split our studio off 10 different ways for all this shit. Like,
was the worst idea. Like, I know it's easy to say, obviously, as someone from the outside and all that kind of stuff. But even, you know, honestly, I can kind of relate in terms of 5-9 Gaming, like our little company right here, right?
I was actually gonna say that. Keep going. Sorry.
It's on much smaller scale, but it's the exact same thing. We had one channel to start with, and then we broke off into 6 different channels. And luckily we figured that out within like a couple of months that like, no, this is a terrible idea. Stop everything, focus on one, build that up, right? That's exactly what that's what we're doing now. That's what Direct has turned into, thankfully.
Well, and even like, think about even in Direct, man, there's been times where you and me have been talking about how many news stories are out and like, oh, there's this, we got to get this, and you know, effectively, we'll have Chin and Lethal sometimes, but it's you and me trying to make all this stuff happen. And, you know, I've had to go like, oh, let's just scrap this, or you've said let's just scrap this because we just don't have the time and resources.
Either we don't have the time, or it doesn't make that much sense, or you can kind of think about it. Probably not going to do as good if we more focus on this one thing only, you know, and that kind of stuff. Luckily, we've been able to kind of do a lot more of that stuff now, thanks to the streaming idea that we've been doing now. But yeah, it's on a much, I didn't even think about that until now. Like, it is literally, we pushed in the right direction compared to whatever Bungie was. I mean, based on all the news and everything, we knew that this kind of stuff came out, or was starting, back during Forsaken? Like right as that was releasing?
Yeah, that came out, and Activision was, you know, they were not happy because it didn't sell 50 million copies. And Bungie was like, we love this, and we're happy that our player base is happy with it. And the player base was like, this is the best thing you've ever made.
Right. And they all thought they were going to stick with it. Like only that. Right.
And like Forsaken was fantastic. Forsaken, I mean, is still held as, you know, maybe up until the Final Shape as the best thing they ever made. You know, a lot of people are like, yeah, Forsaken's better than Taken King. Sorry. Like, but, you know, with this, you just see, and again, this is like a management problem, man. Like, you got to think that, you know, with these people with their MBAs and like their, you know, I worked my way up the corporate ladder and like I get paid millions of dollars. We're a couple of nerds who run a YouTube channel who have somehow figured out resource management better than all these fucking people. You know, we look at what resources we have and go, okay, let's not overextend ourselves. Let's make the videos that we can. And, you know, we're trying. And it's just like, it's something as simple as that. You know, like if Talon, if you were like, hey, let's start up a new channel tomorrow, I'd be like, why?
Why? Yeah.
Right?
That'd be the
Because
worst idea ever.
because like we're not a huge channel, but we're starting to see our progress, like,
Yeah.
work
It would have been.
with
It
how
would have
we've
been like
done
seeing.
things.
No, you know what? Actually, it is. It would have been an example of right after we saw some of the success with the FF7 guides, right? And I said,
Mhm.
okay, guys, by the way, I'm hiring 10 new people now to do this, and just like name off just all these random stuff. Oh, by
Yep.
the way, Bobby, you're not part of directing anymore. You are now part of insert channel name here, essentially.
Yeah,
And by
new
the way,
thing.
I'm not going to be working on directing anymore. I'm going to let, little Timmy here work on it, and I'm going to start this thing off. That's essentially what it would have.
I'm starting a YouTube channel called Gummy Bears.
Exactly. It's just like, God.
Yeah, it's wild to me that, like, what really with this, like, because we heard, what was it? It was like 6 months ago,
Right.
where Totoki first came out and said, yeah, we're really unhappy with management. And then he straight up clarified, I'm talking about Bungie management.
Right, yeah, because I remember because
Like-
there was that live translation of when he was going around to all of the developers and teams and everything. And originally it sounded like, oh, we need to get, the entire PlayStation brand, like, focused on certain things. And then it came out and clarified that, no, he's talking about Bungie. Like, it's literally
and like
Bungie.
that made sense. And, one of the things, like, look, Bungie's fucked up a lot, but the devs have always been people who really just love what they do. I've had interactions on Twitter with Bungie devs, CMs, all that, and they're people who really do care. They really want to make the best product. And
9 times out of 10, the developers always do.
And then you get into, like, the upper management, and you start to see that, like, oh, okay, these people are the ones who are, like, really making sure that
Effing everything up, essentially.
well, they're getting their money, they're making sure they get their money, and that they can buy their cars, and they can buy their new houses, their new townhome in New York, or their new condo in LA. Like,
Look, I honestly don't have a problem with higher ups wanting to buy stuff. It's your money, do what you want. But when your company is literally falling apart in front of you, yeah, that's, like if Bungie was in the green, everything was going well, Destiny was on top of its numbers, they had maybe one new project about to come out, and it was showing real promise and everything, there's hype around it and everything like that. If I saw the CEO was buying a couple cars, I'd be like, all right, why not? I mean, clearly the company's doing well. Everyone's singing up praises about it. But that's a fantasy world, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's...
yeah, imagine, think about the Wii U, right? And the Wii U came out, and good Lord, what a struggle Nintendo was on.
Yeah.
It was almost over. Let's be real. Not really. They had so much cash on hand from the Wii that they were fine. And they made a quick pivot and made one of the most successful
But
consoles.
there's an alternate timeline where they would have fired so much talent away from the teams. There's an alternate timeline where that would have happened.
And if it wasn't for the fact that Japan protects its workers, and they have to do everything in their power, like cutting executive salary. Now, this is not to say that Iwata wasn't, like, the most awesome righteous dude of all time, because he really was. He was fucking Chad among Chads. But it was also partly, it's Japanese law, right, Talon?
Yes.
That he's got to try and do everything he can.
Right, exactly. So if you don't know, so back when Sony had all those layoffs along with Microsoft and everything, the US workers under Sony, most of them were simply given whatever severance package they get, and they're done after that, essentially. Japan, on the other hand, was a lot more tame, I should say. So some people were obviously let go and everything, but first off, Sony in Japan at least had to do some of that stuff, whether it was cut certain, pay from certain people, or do certain things, just keep a certain amount of people on. And those that were still, let go and everything, Sony had to help them get proper training to then help find a new job. So it was nowhere near as bad as it was like in the States or in Europe or anything. So, And that's to an extent most likely what happened with Nintendo. Again, not to take away from the head at the time of Nintendo for cutting his pay and obviously doing the right thing and everything like that. But that was part of that. But he also grew up in a country where that is the norm, and so he wasn't raised to be a jerk CEO essentially, right? He was raised to have empathy, and he probably knew a lot of the people that worked at Nintendo. And we've seen that has worked, because guess what? They kept on most of the people from making, Mario and Zelda and everything like that. And the Switch has had record profits across the board. We already talked about millions of copies of every game, even B-level tier games sold and everything. And then that statement came out about, hey, the people who are working on the Switch 2 right now, we're doing that transition now where the people who started all this stuff, they are going to be retiring soon. And we have trained our replacements essentially, because we didn't just simply fire them. And they now have the skills, the resources, and everything to continue the greatness that is all those Nintendo games and everything.
Yeah, I'm grateful for that every day, because man, I was just playing Mario RPG today, and what a phenomenal little remake that is.
It is, yeah.
I forgot I stopped in the last bit of it, the factory at the end, and I was like, oh, I'm basically done, I'm good. And then I was like, I didn't even finish it. I turned it on today, and I was like, I never even finished this game all the way. So I just, I fought just like 2 or 3 bosses there, and then the main boss, and I finished that and watched the credits, and I was so happy. But yeah, imagine if all that talent had been lost because the Wii U, they had a couple, bad years, and they overextended themselves. It's like you said, you can have a good time, right? Like the Wii. And if during the Wii, they were like, well, now we made all this money off the Wii, we're going to make sure that we are the best graphics and, realism, photorealism and all that for our next console. And they'd gotten back in that graphics arms race that is costing, hundreds of billions of dollars every year for development.
Part of that is also trying to only go into live service stuff. But regardless, you are right though. When we see articles about the eye detail in this particular character, it's like, really, you're gonna spend that much money on that? So, Tiger Titan, yeah. What's up? We were just talking about how certain things have been going on with the fact that, funny enough, going back off of certain countries letting people go in terms of game development and everything. And then how Bungie has handled things and everything like that. Again, Hi-Fi Rush just got picked up by a Korean publisher, which obviously they're mostly known for PUBG and definitely some scary stuff there. But I will give them props for one thing: they're remaining open now. They're not closing.
Yeah.
So I give them props. I give props where it's due. That is a prop right there that I'm just like, you know what? That's great. And that means potentially they can make a Hi-Fi Rush 2 or, make something else. And I mean, why not? Especially if this particular publisher in South Korea takes the same steps that we've been seeing from other publishers within that country, aka what happened with Stellar Blade, where they're mostly known for a mobile game, but now they made Stellar Blade, and that got like 8s and 9s out of 10s across the board and sold extremely well. So yeah, there's hopefully some hope there. But regardless, the main thing to look at is that, I feel like this is not the end when it comes to something like Bungie layoffs and other layoffs, unfortunately, within the States and everything. And,
I know we're going to see more layoffs from especially Microsoft. They're still
easily.
so overinflated. And I wouldn't be surprised with like Sony and Bungie, they cut more.
I'm
especially if Marathon doesn't work.
Dude, Hiroki's going to come in and be like, yeah, no, Bungie, keep bringing those numbers down because you guys are still way in the red and everything. Or, cancel this other project that you secretly have or something like that. Because I'm sure there's a couple projects that we don't even know about that they potentially have. So, and it probably didn't help that they also tried to get another office made in freaking Bellingham, Washington, of all places.
Yeah, and then didn't they build one like across, like in Europe as well?
That's news for me. Bungie office Europe.
In addition
to, here we go. In addition to more than doubling its headquarters space in Bellevue, Washington, Bungie announced plans to open a new studio in Amsterdam by 2022.
Yep. And I think
Jeez,
both
no
those
wonder
ended
they're
up
bleeding money. I mean,
yeah, I think they closed both of those.
is it closed?
Yeah, I think both buildings were closed.
Oh, the Bellevue one as well, you mean?
Yeah.
Bungie office, Amsterdam. Bungie Amsterdam office. First international office in Amsterdam. Did it close? This is all from 2021. Open?
I know I don't want to say her name because I'm not going to put her on blast, but one of the former community managers on her Twitter account mentioned that, oh, they built the big offices only to close them down like 8 months later or something.
Close.
Which is nuts to me. Like, that's so great. And look, I get it. Like, you want to get ambitious. You want to expand, right? Because they were talking about, like, we want to get into publishing before they sold to Sony, like, which is just so weird.
Okay, so hang on. So the company is growing its home as well. Yada yada. Revamp space. Can't find anything if they've closed it or not.
Well, I
Bungie-
feel like you would have seen something if, they'd opened it,
that is true.
Right.
Yeah.
right? You'd be like, oh, Bungie's new offices or something.
This is from 2023. Bungie dev says atmosphere is soul crushing.
Yeah, amid layoffs.
But this is from last year though. We knew about this.
Yeah, that's what we talked about end of last year.
End of
after the
last
first
year. Yeah,
layoff.
we talked about that already.
That was when the CM was laid off.
Right.
And then I think she came out like when the new layoffs happened, and said, oh yeah, a big part of it was they built, multi-million-dollar offices that they ended up just closing almost immediately. It's like, ooh. So that's
Oh, here, this one, former Bungie worker claims studio face. This one? This is Reddit.
face insolvency. No, that's what the article that well, I mean, someone did say, yeah, they were gonna go insolvent if they didn't get bought by Sony.
Right.
Which is nuts because that's when they were talking about, oh, like we want to become a multi-thing, we want to have 5 different things.
Right, and then that's where they went in with all those offices and everything like that. So
yeah.
I can't find it, but I mean, again, it wouldn't surprise me, if like if you Google Map something, the Bungie office says, it already says close or something like that. And here, let's just do that Google Maps. Obviously this is Japan, but Bungie. Yeah, of course it's not. Okay, I gotta leave Japan for a second here. Way over to the US, going to Seattle, Bellevue area. All right. Bungie Inc. Here we go. So this is in, Bellevue right here. It claims it's 24/7, so maybe this one's still open.
No, they still have their original office.
Right. But maybe it's the other one then.
Yeah, it's the new one they built.
Go to Amsterdam. I'm gonna search Bungie, see if they ever opened.
They might not have ever opened it in Amsterdam, but I know they opened the one.
Closest thing I get is Bungie, but EE. It's not actual Bungie.
Yeah, that's not it.
Yeah.
But they probably did, thankfully, not build the one in Amsterdam. But yeah, here, let me see.
Because I mean, if you think about just simply logically for a second, right? Amsterdam is nowhere like the States, right? Amsterdam is very pro worker and everything like that, and obviously that means that there's higher taxes and everything, and just probably trying to get permits to build it is probably pretty expensive, right? So I'm not surprised they didn't fully go through with it or anything like that. And then especially when we find out that they're not hitting margins by 45% last year in terms of their revenue, and then even now we know that they're easily in the red. Like, I mean, again, take it back to us right here. It would have been like seeing after minor, a little bit of success with the FF7 guides. And I said, okay, guys, by the way, you're all coming to work in Japan. I just rented a whole office space in downtown Tokyo. Obviously a huge jump there, regardless, but still same kind of mentality in the end.
Yeah. And that's,
I mean, don't get me
the
wrong.
thing.
I would love for you guys to be able to come out and work out here with me and everything, but regardless, I'm clearly in no spot to be able to do that just because we had some success. So
Yeah, exactly. And that's good leadership. That's what I'm talking about. Is like we recognize, oh hey, yeah, we had a great, I mean, we even talked about it, right? At the time, we said, hey, we had a great month. Let's, we're gonna try and keep things going like this. That'd be great, but we're just doing what we can do.
Right. Or any kind of changes are small, very small incremental changes that regardless if we did continue to do well or things maybe dip down a bit, it wasn't going to all of a sudden kill everything or, we're down, X amount or something like that. Right. So, yeah, jeez. Like of all the places that they were going to make an office, another one in Bellevue and Amsterdam. Like, damn, are you trying to bleed money when you're clearly in the red right now? like if they were completely successful and they were not in the red and they're in the green and everything, then sure, by all means, go ahead and build in Amsterdam or Sweden or Bellevue, Los Angeles, wherever you want to build. I don't care. It's your money. You're in the green. You're making the good business decisions and everything like that. But really, you are not. And no, before anyone tries to say like, well, it's because of the knitting classes that they had. Honestly, I don't fault Bungie for having those kind of like side, things for their workers to de-stress and everything. I 100% actually get that. I think that's cool. Right.
The reason tech companies have that stuff is to attract good talent.
Right.
Because another tech company will offer that stuff and they'll go there.
Right. If you think Bungie's the only one who offered or offers that kind of stuff, you're wrong. A lot of them do. I remember seeing a video about the Square Enix office actually here in Japan. It was if you guys have ever heard of Paulo from Tokyo, he follows a lot of like Japanese workers here all over in different industries. And he got a chance to go with an artist who works at Square Enix. And they have like, not only do they have your typical break rooms or everything, but they have like all these different rooms you can just go in and just do stuff, whether it was like getting a massage or something like that, or doing this or doing like, there's all these different things that they have there to, again, attract more people to come work for them and everything like that. So it's a normal thing to see there and everything. So,
yeah.
So their knitting classes were not going to be the end of Bungie or it is the reason that, all this stuff is failing. No, it is all in management trying to do way too much. You've seen that. What's happened?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I know for a fact. Like I have a friend, I used to live in the SF Bay Area. And so I've had many people I know work for tech companies. And one of my best friends worked for YouTube of all places. Mm-hmm. And like, he would tell me like, oh yeah, they've got like nap pods. So we can just go in there and take a nap for like a half hour if we're feeling stressed. Yep. They would offer like, because his original job was like content moderation. So he had to watch some horrible stuff. So they offered like, like group therapy sessions. They would offer like a music room where you could just go in, pick up guitars and basses and play on a drum set and just jam for like an hour during your day. Because they knew if you have that, you'd be happier and you'd work better because people think like, oh, well, I work at McDonald's or I work at a retail store and I'm miserable. And so everyone should be like that. It's like, yeah, but when you're like that, your work suffers. And especially when you're in tech, you cannot have your work suffer because then that's how we get things like Cloud Strike? Is that it?
Yeah.
Or is that the Destiny gun? Cloud, whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
Whatever. The whole Microsoft Cloudflare, whatever thing that happened a couple weeks ago where, they pushed a patch and then like half the internet died. So like, yeah, the knitting classes are not the issue here. The issue is overextension and leadership making really shit decisions and going, hey, we've made a little bit of money, so like we're just gonna blow all of it and just try and make a bunch of stuff that's not gonna work.
Right. And maybe call me crazy, I guess. I don't know. I always believe in treating your workers well, whether that's through pay, side programs, you name it, because when someone feels like they're actually wanted in everything and not just another gerbil on the wheel of that company, they're more likely going to stick around. They're going to make better stuff, whether, again, you're in marketing or you're in making games or even serving food or anything like that, right? Whether, you could be the chef at the cafeteria within Square Enix. And if every week you have, like, let's say the COO of Square Enix come down and chat with you and say, oh yeah, by the way, we're going to be giving you guys that new oven that you've been wanting or something. Again, just the most random example I know. But that chef's more likely to stick around than leave after a while, right?
Yeah.
So
when I was at EA, we had certain managers who were very much like, just come in and get your work done. We had other managers who would be like, hey, like, let's talk about this stuff you found and, how we can improve your reports on stuff like that.
And
right?
I know this is the internet and everything. And so, people always got to act one way when in real life they're this way and everything like that. But I don't think it's controversial to say that, hey, treat people. It goes back to those old sayings I learned way back when I was a kid. Treat people the way you want to be treated, right?
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with treating people right, and you know what, and also to an extent, improving what has been done beforehand, right? You always hear people saying, like, back in my day, I had to pick myself up by my boots and do this, and it's like, okay, then why not try to make things better so that the next generation or the next workers or anything like that don't have to deal with that stress and, all those low points that you had to hit, right? Why not try to make things better and everything? We're not saying to make things where they don't have to do anything and you literally get free money, but make things better overall so that people want to come work or want to be part of that or do this or do, I don't think that's a controversial thing to say. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think it is.
No, you're right. I mean, you gotta stop shifting all money to, like, the higher ups, right? That's a big problem in America, where executives, like Pete Parsons get paid, $15 million a year to run a company into the ground, while the devs who work very, very hard live in one of the most expensive areas on the planet and, have trouble surviving because they're barely paid enough to get by because Bellevue, Washington is insanely expensive, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's, again, that comes down to leadership problem. Like, and that's why we're seeing, like, one of the things, like, anyone who's watched the channel knows that I criticize Microsoft all the time because I want Xbox to put out some goddamn games that I want to buy. But man, the fact that they're letting entire studios unionize, I'm there for that shit.
Yeah, that is positive right there. That when I see that, I'm like, oh, okay. First off, I'm shocked, because I thought they might try to put their foot down on it or fight it, but they're not, which is great. And I am all 100% for that. I mean, the fact that Bethesda got to unionize and everything, that's definitely really cool. And then we saw that Blizzard, I believe. Blizzard just recently,
I think
or they said they're
unionized.
going to, or they're about to, or something like that. Which I can tell you right now, they would not have under Bobby.
No, he would have like sicked a pack of wild dogs on them or something.
Yeah.
Guy's a sadistic bastard. But like,
does it hurt to have the same name as him?
I knew my name first, so I'm cooler than he is. So I don't have as much money, but I'm a nice person. So I try not to, like, tell people who work for me I'm going to kill them. Stuff like that. But it is weird because, like, I've met other Bobbies, and Bobby's generally the name of someone who's relatively chill. And then hearing, like, he was, like, covering up all the allegations and accusations and then threatening his employees and stuff. It's like, dude, seriously? What the fuck, man? Like, you're bringing us all a bad name here, guy. But with all of this stuff that we've heard lately with Bungie, I'm just hoping that, if Marathon really is that bad, Sony just goes, get it out. That team we're gonna find, we're gonna rehouse them. We're gonna find spots for these people, and we're pivoting everything to Destiny 3. We talked about this last time. I said that when Lemon was here, and I even had to tell Lemon, like, Lemon, you're right, man. They're not even talking about Destiny 3 apparently.
Yep.
Yeah. And I didn't expect that because like Destiny's your moneymaker, and it came out the whole thing. Oh well, apparently the Destiny fan base like skews older, but it's like, who do you think has like cash
Money.
to blow?
Yeah, money to buy things, right?
Yeah, like, yeah, sure, little Billy is gonna buy, the Fortnite skin. Little Timmy, or little Iron Cane's gonna buy the Trunks Fortnite skin. I love you, Iron. But like, when you got like the dad who's got like a kid or two and he's got a solid setup job, a buddy of mine, he doesn't buy a ton of games, but he does play certain games. And if he plays a game and he wants something like a skin,
he's gonna buy
or whatever, he's just gonna open up his wallet and buy it and be like, oh, it's only $20 and I want to look like Goku, or I want to look like Iron Man. Fuck it. I'll do it.
I think some of these companies, and I already know why they do it, because board members, CEOs, the whole 9 yards, but they need to stop trying to think that just by going younger and trying to beat out Fortnite, it's not gonna work that way. Fortnite is a once in a lifetime thing when it comes to how successful that game was. We haven't seen anything since. There's a good reason for that. So instead of trying to focus on these younger kids that are not going to be taken away from something like Fortnite, focus on your community that is making you the money. Find ways to bring new players in. Absolutely. I'm not saying they shouldn't do that, but don't try to just be like, these old dudes are in their 30s. We shouldn't be catering them. Focus on these, 12-year-olds over here and only them. That's not a good plan in the end, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it was Paul Tassi who he said, yeah, the reason Fortnite is so successful is because Fortnite's the first ones who've actually been able to create the metaverse. Right. And and I saw that, I thought about it, I was like, yeah, because I can go in there and one season, I've got the Spider-Man like wrist thing that lets me swing around like Spider-Man, and I can dress up as Goku as my avatar, and there's a new part of the map that's got like a vault on it that I can open with friends, and then it's got really good guns in it. But if my friends are dead, then I can't get it, so we all have to make it there to get that, and then we might have to fight people who are looking for that vault when we land. Like, Fortnite has done something really, really special that, you're right, it's not going to be replicated. It's I don't know how anyone can replicate what Fortnite has done.
I don't think they can.
And that's why Fortnite really has 1 million players all the time.
Right. And unfortunately, the higher ups don't understand that. They just don't. Yeah,
they think, oh, we can just do that. And it's like, you don't need to do that. I mean, it just depends on like the way you kind of go. And what's really funny is that with Fortnite and Helldivers devs, man, Arrowhead, you guys are fucking up. They could really learn something from Fortnite, because you notice that Fortnite has like a defined meta and has some like zany, stupid shit sometimes, right? There was a period where everyone was like, oh my God, the mechs have ruined the game. And like, even just a few weeks ago or a month ago, they were like, oh, these vehicles are just ruining the game. You just hop in a vehicle and you just run people over, and they can't kill you before you run them over. And so it's like stupid. And it's like, yeah, but you're still playing the game, and casual little Timmy's still playing the game.
Yep. They're keeping you around, so you can complain online. You can complain online all you want, but you're still playing it.
Right? Because Fortnite lets things run wild. They go like, oh, we have this new stupid laser gun that like deletes people, and there's like 2 of them on the map. And if like little Timmy finds it, he's gonna get the victory royale. And that's like cool, because then little Timmy feels like, oh, I got it.
I've been seeing some things with Helldivers too, because I know their big new thing just released on the platform or whatever. What's going on there? Like, I've been seeing a lot of people like kind of call them out and be like, why are you doing this, or what are you making this particular decision for? It seems to be around balancing certain weapons or not having things as powerful anymore. What's the with 411 there?
Yeah, so if you're uninformed, what has happened with Helldivers? Because I was thinking about, like, I heard about that update and I was like, oh yeah, this actually kind of looks cool. Like, I might hop back in and check it out because I haven't played that game in months, right? But apparently, they did their whole like, hey, biggest content update ever. Everything's gonna be fire based. Like, you're gonna burn the world down, right? Burn the bugs, burn the bots, all this, right? And then they nerfed fire damage, like overall, like carpet nerf, and then they nerfed some of the weapons that like were specialty fire weapons. And this is while they put out one of their war bonds that contains like all fire weapons. So they're just giving you a war bond, you know, you can pay real money for, by the way. They're giving you a war bond of nerfed guns. And people are just like, okay, you had all this awesome looking content and stuff, and it looked great, and it looked like it was going to be fun. And why? Why would you do this?
The overpowered stuff was it draws people to bring either to come back or to try something out. Then down the line later, you reel it in just a little bit. Didn't the head developer, the CEO or something, make a post on social media saying something? That's like,
yeah, I think he said something like, "Oh, hey, we're learning, blah blah blah," and it's like, dude, I stopped playing Helldivers about 6 weeks in, right? A lot of people stopped playing around then, right? Because people either got to max level or they just got like other stuff was coming out.
And we knew this was gonna happen. It's a typical
It's a
thing,
live
you know.
service.
It does this, right? You have your highs, you have your lows, you have your highs, your lows, and that's a healthy game right there in terms of a live service, right? If people keep coming back and you see the numbers jump right back up to where they were, and then you gradually they fall off, and then it comes back up with the next, you know, release and everything. That's normal. That's perfectly fine. You are never going to keep this kind of line with a game unless you're literally Fortnite. So, but yeah, that's unfortunate that they're saying, oh yeah, we're learning from it. It's just like, are you really? Like, I understand having a vision for your game, right? But sometimes you've got to find a balance, right? Where it's like, okay, look, this wasn't exactly within our original vision, and you guys say you want this. Let's try to maybe meet in the middle somewhere, right? Maybe let's not nerf fire when our entire new download, you know, content is based on fire. But at the same time, we're not going to make it so that you can literally press the button for 2 seconds and the entire map is engulfed in flames and you win, right? You know, this is an example type of thing. I don't know. That's at least the way I personally look at it. Maybe try to meet in the middle.
Yeah, you do not want players completely walking through content, and
especially on those higher difficulties. Like, I get that.
Yeah, well, there's some players out there who have every stratagem and every war bond, and there's like they're hyped up on G Fuel, so they're sweating all over their keyboard and mouse or their controller, and doing like super Helldiver difficulty and all that. And they're like, oh, it's just too easy. Because every game has those people. Like every single game has those people.
Don't listen to those people. Don't listen to them.
You see those people who like play Destiny raids and go, this is just content. It's so casual and boring. And like, think about the times when we've done raids, Talon. You know, we just have a group of buds together and we're like, you know, we'll fuck up and die and wipe and it's like, okay, because not everybody is playing at that super like competitive level. Like we're not trying to be like the world's first every raid run. We're trying to like have fun and say dumb stuff. And
like even I'll say, like, you know, yeah, the mechanics in 99% of the stuff in Destiny are super easy. They are.
Yes,
but I can
they have to be.
Right, and they have to be. But I can still go have fun, or even sometimes there is some stuff that's challenging, right? You know, especially like with the most recent raid, with the Final Shape raid and everything like that, right? I still find parts of the 4th encounter a little tricky sometimes. Some of it's still buggy, but other parts of it are a little tricky. Same with the 5th encounter and everything, right? But again, you learn, and over time you get better, yada yada. I get that. But I'm not sitting there and again, this also comes down to the fact of, look, if something truly is stupid easy for me to do, then I'm gonna just go play another game for a bit. And I feel like those people online are always like, this is so stupid, freaking easy, what to change this, do this, blah, blah, blah. Just like, go play a different game for a while, come back when new stuff comes, or this or that. They're not gonna make it just for you to make sure that it's this one particular way and everyone else gets pissed off. Guess what? They're gonna go for whatever the majority like, not the minority. That's just the way it is.
that's one of those things with gamer mindset that I found is just like, and especially when you're talking about Destiny, like, let's be real. They just said their player base skews older. Like, Destiny is a dad game.
It is.
It is a dad game. Like, it is a game for people who grew up playing Halo and Borderlands, and it's a mix of those two games. And people like me who are dad age love Destiny, right? I have a disgusting amount of hours in Destiny 2. I had something like 3,500 hours in Destiny 1. Destiny 2, I have 4,819. Now, to be fair, Destiny 1, you can tell I played a lot more because that was only out for 3 years. And I had, like 3/4 the amount of time as I have in Destiny 2. But that being said, Destiny, it's just a game for a particular group of people who grew up on Halo and Borderlands. And that's what makes me love it. And the fact that they just keep it going with like cool new ideas and cool new guns and like little stuff for me to collect. And that's why I'm like playing First Descendant right now. I'm like, oh, it's a new game where numbers go up and I can play hard missions and get stuff to collect new guns to make those numbers go up, right? Like, and just collect as much stuff as I can.
Yeah.
And like, there's a group of people who like that game. And unfortunately, that group is getting older. So if you don't want to like cater to that audience, I guess that's cool. But if it's me, I'm going like, look, we have a really dedicated audience, like this was the end of a 10-year saga, 7th year in this game. After all the frustration and stuff, this game would have broken its all-time peak if they didn't have the servers just get overwhelmed. Right, the servers literally could not handle the amount of people trying to play Destiny 2 when Final Shape released.
Right. And I think part of that is also unfortunately due to all the stuff that's happened in the last few years and everything. If they had never tried to go too many projects and take so many people off of the game, but at the same time, you're absolutely correct in terms of the servers just could not handle it, essentially.
Yep.
Right.
And it's unfortunate, like, because you want to see studios like Bungie that have been around forever that like people love. It's just like Gearbox. Like Borderlands 3 it was fun, but it's kind of a mess after Borderlands 2, which was so great.
Yeah.
And part of me wonders they had Battleborn, but they also had that other project that they were incubating for a while that was supposed to be like an arena shooter, fast-paced thing that just disappeared off the face of the earth. I forget what is it even called, but they were doing something else for a while. Then like Borderlands 3 came out and it's like kind of a mess. Now it's fine. Like, but like it's not as good as Borderlands 2.
Yeah. No,
but it's still pretty good. Like, and I'll play Borderlands. But again, this comes down to like, it's like the same kind of thing as Left 4 Dead, right? Left 4 Dead is like a certain group wants Left 4 Dead 3. And I guarantee you it's people who are like 30 and older. Right?
What is that? What's that horror Sony game that so many people, or apparently a lot of people want, but Sony like refuses to recognize it or something like that? It's not
Bloodborne?
No. It's like a horror game. It's not Left 4 Dead.
I don't know what
I
you're
don't
talking
remember
about.
what it is. PlayStation horror game.
A PT? Like
Dead by Daylight, I think. Dead by Daylight? No.
Dead by Daylight's the 4-on-1 game.
Yeah, the 4 whatever. Silent Hill?
Silent Hill is coming out. Well, there was PT, which was the Silent Hills remake that Kojima was going to do.
Right.
But then they scrapped that, and that became like Death Stranding, and then now they're doing Silent Hill 2.
It was Days Gone?
Oh, that was a zombie one. That wasn't really I guess sort of a horror.
Yeah. But because there's some recent news, I think, assuming it is Days Gone. Days Gone.
With the motorcycle guy.
Yeah. So as of 2022, it's hit like 9 million copies sold, and a lot of people are like, why isn't Sony wanting to make a sequel to this and everything? When in reality, like, it didn't sell that well at the beginning, and the only reason it's now hit these numbers is because it's been on some deep sales for a few years now.
Oh yeah, I see that game on sale for like $7 on Steam all the time. So
so this whole thing about outpacing Ghost of Tsushima, it's like, well, first off, it's because Ghost of Tsushima is rarely on sale, and this game is like always on sale. Like I'm pretty sure if
Yeah.
I went PSN store, right? It's
And that's the other thing is like I'm really hoping when they put out this PlayStation Pro, if they can find a way, and I know they don't want to lose money on hardware, but if they can find a way to make that Pro $500 and then make the standard PlayStation like 400, and then maybe the digital only like 350, ooh, you're gonna see that adoption rate.
oh
shoot
yeah,
through
they
the
will.
roof. It will shoot through the roof.
I'm still thinking the Pro is going to be 650 to 700, but I mean, in a perfect world, I would hope for that.
I can't see them. I can't see them rationally doing it more than 600. I can't.
I know.
Because like I know they don't want to lose money on hardware, but nobody is going to buy something that's over 600. Like me, now that I've got the new job, and especially if it gets to where, right now I'm seasonal, but they're like, we're trying to keep as many people on for permanent. So just come in here and do your job right.
Right.
So I'm going to do that, hoping to get permanent. If I get permanent, then, I'll think about buying one. But if it's over 600, I'm just going to be like, you know what? I got a PS5 that works fine.
I mean, remember wasn't the PS3 600 originally?
It was.
Yeah, and look what happened there. So
yeah, exactly. The PS3 didn't start taking, and I hope they recognize that and realize like we can't put it out for that much. If they can put it out for 500 and take a loss and get people like on it for like it, and again it comes down to like the best place to play GTA 6, right? Like the best place to play Ghost of Tsushima 2, the best place to play Spider-Man 3, right? If that, or the best place to play Venom, right? Is the PS5 Pro. You're gonna hit like ultra resolutions in every game, comparable to like a 4070 or 4080, right? With upscaling and all that. Like, cool. Like I'm down with that. But if it's $600, it's like, dude, I'll just wait for your games to go to my PC because I already paid for that. And I'm going to build a new one of those anyway. So
exactly.
Sorry, like I'll just wait, or I'll play them on my regular PlayStation 5. And if I really want to play Ultra down the line when they go on sale, I don't think I've done that. I don't think I've bought a PlayStation game. Oh, I have Horizon Zero Dawn, because I wanted to play that at 60 FPS. And
I do want to play Ragnarok on PC. I actually want to play Ragnarok.
I think I'll get Ghost to play on PC because I would love to see that with the ultra wide. I think that would be.
Yeah, I mean, Ghost has nothing but positive reviews and everything. I mean, I know it got technically review bombed a little bit on Steam, but
it's every I had this conversation. Every Steam player throws a fit when there's any kind of DRM, and it's like, look, it's just a Sony link, whatever, so you can play.
Well, and
online,
it shows that what was it? I shouldn't be looking at that. I should be looking at Steam numbers, Steam charts, because everyone made this huge deal about how it's a first-person game only. I mean, there is technically the online section of it. It's a first-person only, and it was their best-selling single-player game. So it shows that even by putting that little, hey, we're just going to log in. Or you have to log in with a PlayStation account, and even though it is alienating a ton of countries that don't have PlayStation Network, due to a lot of that is actually mostly due to laws within those countries that Sony doesn't want to deal with.
And that's fair. That's one of those things that I never understood. People like, well, just take it off so everybody can play it. It's like they're the business. They don't want to have to deal with some weird tax law or something. And don't get me wrong, like it's a $1 billion company deal with taxes, but like. They don't want to deal with the tax law.
That's their
use
choice.
A VPN.
Yeah.
Just use a VPN. It's like, it's that simple. Like, people have been doing it for like 15 years. Use a VPN.
I think the thing when I look at this particular, right, like when you hear everyone saying like, just why have the PlayStation requirements, right? Just let it be available to everyone. You'll make more money and everything like that. It is shown based on Steam numbers. I know it's not exactly the best or anything, but it is shown that it doesn't matter, right? Because even with Helldivers, we looked at Helldivers 2. When Helldivers 2, when we started to see all of that drama over how they were going to make you have to sign in, and then they cut back, or then they went back on that and said, no, we're not going to force it on this particular game and everything like that. That didn't all of a sudden make the numbers jump up and everything. Obviously, I know they still weren't selling it in those particular countries or anything like that. But if you look at it, it was still going down. Is that a constant,
Yeah, well, every game is going to have that.
Right, exactly. But so what I'm saying, though, is that little, because it even says here, the account linking shenanigans, that's what they call it here. That all of a sudden, that wasn't, it wasn't like the numbers were up here at 458,000 and then dropped down. It was just naturally going down. So, and again, if this, again, Sony is allowed, they're their own business. They're allowed to make whatever decisions they want. And if it's bad and people actually spoke with their wallet and showed Sony that, and then they went back and all this, okay, I'd get that. But then again, you see that, again, Ghost of Tsushima, their best-selling single-player game on Steam.
Yep.
Requires a login.
You know what's funny too is, I was talking about Arrowhead fucking up earlier. Where I really fell off even wanting to get back into the game was during that whole PSN debacle. And it's not because of the PSN thing. Like, I don't mind signing, like, I have a fucking EA account and a Ubisoft account and all this bullshit for every other game. I don't mind signing up for it. What I had to do, or when I did the Conquered beta on PC, they were like, oh, you got to make a, link your Sony account. I was like, okay. It took like 2 minutes. I was like, all right, whatever. It's not a big deal. Oh, well, Sony loses data. Hate to break it to you, Steam got hacked on like a developer level last year. And a lot of shit got stolen from that. If you're a Steam player, sorry, hate to break it to you, but everything gets hacked nowadays because that's the reality of living in an all digital world, or a primarily digital world where all of our connection and communication is online. It sucks, but that's the reality of the situation. Like, the thing with this is like, I knew Arrowhead was problematic with that because if you remember, Talon, when the game came out, it was supposed to have the PSN thing, and for the first
couple months.
The first like wave of people, like the first day or two.
Oh yeah, you had to sign in.
You had to sign up with PSN,
right.
And then they were like, "Oh, so many people are, it's catching on, it's going viral. So many people are playing." And that was causing a problem for Arrowhead because it was clogging up the servers. So many people getting stuck on that one point.
Right.
So they just cut it and then told Sony, like, we're going to deal with it later. People are trying to play. And Sony was like, okay, I guess for now, but like, you got to make them sign up for it. Like, we don't like it, but they're going to have to sign up. And they were very clear about that. Sony was, right?
Yep.
And then everyone was like, oh, they never did it for months. And I'm like, yeah, but this is not on Sony. This is on Arrowhead. Like, I don't know. I didn't understand why everyone was like, Sony's evil. And I'm like, Arrowhead, it was through Arrowhead's incompetence that they couldn't get enough people into the game with the thing that, their publisher and the people who paid them to make the game, who own the IP, told them to do, which was part of their contract. They fucked up so bad that they couldn't get people into the game, and then they shrugged off that part of their contract, and then they let Sony take the blame when they tried to reinstate it. And like, now, you look and they're just tanking the reviews again. They're tanking the player numbers again. And this is, again, it has nothing to do with Sony. It has to do with Arrowhead making stupid decisions. And it's like, I knew that, like, once I saw that, I was like, oh man, this developer's kind of just shit, And I don't know if I like that. Like, the fact that the one guy was like, oh yeah, just go review bomb it. It's like,
I was kind of shocked to see that. I'm not gonna lie.
You're working for the studio and you're saying, oh, you want our publisher to cave? Like, just go review bomb the game. It's like, yo, like, that guy got fired immediately, and for very good reason. But like, I'm sure Sony called them and was like, we're going to hang all of you by your asses if that guy's not gone by the end of the day. Like, because it just started a whole thing where Sony was like the villain, when really like Sony just was like, hey, this is like our requirement for PC games that we're starting to implement now that we're doing more of these like online multiplayer games. And now that we're really making that push into PC, we want to make sure we're doing, this kind of thing.
I wouldn't be surprised if Sony also looked at them and said, okay, you know what? We won't require the login or anything, but you guys better be able to keep these numbers up essentially. Otherwise, what's the points?
If
right?
I'm Sony, with like how Arrowhead has handled this rollout, like Helldivers 1 was fairly low profile.
Yep.
And had a really hardcore dedicated fan base. So when Helldivers 2 came out, those people were the ones going like, oh, this looks like it's gonna be great. The first game was great. And so they started playing, then it started going viral because they got friends to play it. Friends realized how goofy and fun it was. If I'm Sony, I'm finding another developer for Helldivers 3 in like 2 years and going like, hey, just make it like the dumb, goofy fun everyone liked from the beginning of Helldivers 2. Like, from what I'm understanding, like Arrowhead right now is going like, well, actually, when we built the game, we really wanted it to be kind of almost like a military sim. And, stuff came out unbalanced. And so it kind of got like off the wall and goofy. And we understand that everybody loved that, but that's not really our vision. So we're just going to balance everything so it's kind of boring and slow. And that's dumb. Like if you strike gold like that, you don't go like, oh, I'm just not going to do that again, or I'm not going to do that anymore. You guys like that? Oh, okay, we're not doing that, just so you know. But I guess that's how it is with Arrowhead. But if I'm Sony, I'm looking at just the way that they've done that, handled the whole thing and going like, okay, then, I'm not having you guys work on the next one. Like, you're done.
It'll be interesting to see what happens going forward, because like obviously Sony got their money from the 12 million or whatever that was sold this game, right? So they've made their money and then some, obviously, right?
Helldivers 2 did not cost like $200 million.
No, that game probably cost, I would say, 50.
Yeah, I'd say 40 to 50.
40, 50 probably, or something like that. Now I will say Sony's about to find out hardcore what's going to happen with Concord, most likely. Even though I will say, and I'll defend this through and through, the idea of paying once and getting everything and not having BS battle passes and everything, I love.
Yes, but unfortunately, Concord is evil.
I know, I know. It's evil, and it's just the current, generation or the current cycle that we're in when it comes to games, unfortunately, and everything. I wish people more understood. I'm not saying Concord's a great game. I understand a lot of the people find characters boring and everything like that. I 100% get that. But the concepts of what it's trying to do as a live service game, I absolutely love. Because again, pay once, battle passes, all that stuff. Love it.
Yeah. It's all included. I knew that, and I don't know how nobody knew that. Like, I feel like they said that very clearly early on somewhere.
The only thing they didn't was the battle. The battle pass was the only thing they didn't, but it didn't matter because everyone just looked at the trailer with the characters and what they look like. That's all people did. So.
Well, yeah, they looked at the trailer. The biggest thing is that people have been saying like Sony needs like online games, so they're making an online, like a multiplayer game, like a PvP game. Dedicated PvP game, because everyone's like, Sony needs PvP games. Like, where was Halo, man? Like, they didn't have anything to compete. They were relying on Call of Duty. So they make their own shooter. That's like, I still say on the sticks, Concord feels like I've played very few first-person shooters on controller. You know this, Talon.
Right.
Like, I do not like first-person shooters on controller. And Concord is up there with Titanfall in terms of how it feels on sticks, in my opinion. It feels that good. Which, like, if anyone knows me, you know that I basically play Halo and Titanfall with a controller, and that's it. And And Concord, like I was like, man, on PlayStation, because on PC when I had it, it was crashing and running like shit. So I played it on PlayStation, the beta, and I was like, this feels great. Like it feels awesome and it runs great. So it's very clearly optimized for PlayStation. My question is this going to be like Suicide Squad? Remember, Talon, I told you at the start of this Suicide Squad, whatever season, episode, whatever the hell they call it, the leaderboards were coming up like 22,000 people. And that was just like PlayStation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
wasn't Suicide Squad like one of PlayStation's most played games or something like that for a few months or something?
But that's my question. Is I'm wondering if Concord is gonna find an audience on PlayStation.
I still have my prediction that it's gonna be the opposite of Helldivers. Where Helldivers found most of its popularity on PC. And not to say that people don't play it on PlayStation, but I think more people play it on PC.
Yeah.
There's a chance Concord, does well on PlayStation. Because again, with the way you saw the Steam numbers, you expected Sony or PlayStation to come out and be like, game delayed on PlayStation Plus, insert, change here essentially. That game releases in 8 days. I believe. Yeah. Isn't it Concord release date?
It's 9 here, right? It's the 20th?
It should be release date, PlayStation 5. Oh, 23rd. Okay. So 11 days.
Oh, yeah, because I was going to say, it's not
days.
The same day as Wukong, because Wukong is in 8 days.
Thank God, yeah.
Or 9 days.
Yeah, so August 23rd. So they have 11 days to, again, change it to plus or delay or anything like that, and they're not.
What I think they're doing here with Concord,
keeping quiet and just making the game as good as they possibly can.
I think, yeah, because really, like down the line, I may buy it. Like if it seems like there's a PlayStation player base, because I really enjoyed it. I actually thought it was well made.
It's a well-made game. Not wanting to unfortunately, buy it. In this current day and age, good is not enough.
Good is not enough for a large amount of people.
Yeah,
that's what's the problem.
Unfortunately,
right? Because remember back in the day, right? Back in the day, there was a game that Activision made, and it was called Singularity. And if anyone remembers this game, it's about 15 years old or something, maybe 17 years old. But it was like a total fucking BioShock ripoff. But instead of like the plasmids, you had little time powers and stuff, right? And it was like a mess. Like the story was like a mess, and the shooting was decent. It's Activision, I think it was Raven, pretty sure. So shooting was decent. You could do like different endings at the end. Weren't hugely different, but it was cool. It's always stuck with me. It's always one of those games. I was like, this game, I like this game. I think game's mid as fuck. Like I'll be the first one to admit that game is mid as fuck, but I like that game. And it's got like a messy story. Some of the stuff about it's weird, but like there's fun set pieces in it, and it's one of those weird, like it's a time travel story, which I've always had a soft spot for. Like one of my favorite movies, Back to the Future, right? And but we don't get games like that anymore. Like everything is trying to be this huge AAA thing, or it's an indie, right? It's very rare we get double A's.
That's the one sad thing I think when it comes to Concord is because if you look at the team, right? The team knows how to make a good game. And I think if you went back 15 plus years or so, this game would release. I'm going to say it gets the controversial 7 out of 10 from today's date and age and all that stuff, but it gets the controversial 7 out of 10. They take what is well received and they go on to make the next game, and it blows everyone out of the water and it becomes the next best thing. I want you all to remember a little game called Uncharted 1. Now, while Metascore wise and everything, it did still pretty well. I believe it got like high 8s, lows 9s, give or take. But you play it now, you'd probably call that like a 6 out of 10 game. Clunky gameplay, all that stuff, right? But they took things that worked from the first game. 2 came out, and that won awards and everything. And it's got like all those stickers about, best game of the year and all that stuff.
I wouldn't even say it came. I would say that Uncharted 2 came out, and that was the start of PlayStation 3 competing.
Oh yeah, easily.
Like that's how important Uncharted 2 was. And in today's age, if you made Uncharted 1 and it got the reception it did, there wouldn't be an Uncharted 2.
Oh no, there wouldn't. There wouldn't.
Which
yeah.
fucking sucks. Like, you know, like it, and I go back to, child, you've heard me go back to so many times. Anthem. Like if they'd given Anthem the time to grow, especially with all the stuff that like the team had done in their blogs, it was talking about how they were working to create new content
and the 2.0 update and everything.
Yeah, the 2.0 update, the loot structure, they were changing how the whole storm raid thing worked. Like they were doing so much awesome work, and then Andrew Wilson goes, nah, let's not invest in it. Fuck it. Like one of the best feeling game. Like, did you ever play Anthem? Tim?
I did. I was part of the beta.
Oh, the beta was hot dog shit. But
it was, but some of the mechanics were there. And I played the game because I got it on sale, I think like a month after it came out or something like that. So I jumped in. It has its high points. There are a couple of good high points there. And I could have easily seen a 2.0 workout and everything. But it goes back to that whole thing that I was mentioning beforehand, where if a game is not perfect or it's not at some particular level regardless, then the chances of that team, you know, being able to look at what worked and what didn't and improve upon it for either a sequel or their next game or something has drastically dropped, unfortunately. And I don't like that. I understand. I'm not saying everyone has to go out and buy these low tier, you know, low games and all this stuff, because otherwise, you know, because then people are going to be like, well, you told me to buy Kong, you know, from last year. And it's just like, no, I'm not telling you to go buy Kong or the Gollum game or something like that. But
I will eventually buy both those games because they're so dog shit.
But
that I have to play them in my life.
But I guess my point is that just because a game isn't a 10 out of 10 doesn't mean the game is bad. Sure, Concord's got cringy ass characters and everything and all this other stuff, but guess what? The shooting mechanics are still good. The map design overall I thought was pretty decent.
Yeah, actually I did too.
Right. So so my hope would be that they would be able to take those mechanics that worked and were good, clearly change, whether you change it from a hero shooter to maybe a class structure or just everyone's got the same thing or however you want to do it, release it. Bet it does better. I bet it does. So I don't know. I've spoken on this many times. My overall hope would be that Sony doesn't just, you know, write them off and fire all of them, because, you know, the fact that Sony went in, saw Concord and bought that company without the game even come, that's the first game they've ever made. So the fact that they did that is kind of like, okay, well, let's see what happens here, I guess.
Well, this goes back to what you were saying earlier about Jim Ryan. Like, is Jim Ryan the reason he thought it was like, oh, it's a live service?
It's a live service
like,
game.
We can make it a live service.
Right?
Let's buy it because it's, you know, it's. I think really what's going to happen, and we talked about this before. How, you know, this probably helps that Herman Hulse is, you know, leading the company now. But Horizon Online, from what we've heard, is not canceled. Right. Despite all the other,
it's not. All I've heard about that game is it's supposed to be a Monster Hunter style type of game, apparently. That's all I've heard.
Oh, I'd be so down with that too. Like, give me that.
But the only thing is, though, you've got to make it better than Monster Hunter. Right?
No, you're not doing that. You're not doing it. No, you don't need to do that. You need to make it its own thing.
That's true. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that was what was the one that EA made? Wild Hearts, was that it? Where it was like Monster Hunter, and I think Skill Up, he raved about it. He was like,
yeah, he did.
You know, if this on a technical level is a fucking mess, but the other stuff they do here sets it apart enough to where if you want something different from the Monster Hunter experience, you've got it here, and it feels great. And to me, that's what you want to do. You know, like you don't need to, oh, it has to do everything Monster Hunter does better. It's like, no, it has to keep that core idea and then do its own thing with it. Right. And that's, you know, that's one of the the kind of core tenets of making a game in a defined genre, right? Look at Lies of P. That's exactly what Lies of P does. And that's why people say it's like the best Souls-like that's not a FromSoft game, you know? Because
Oh yeah,
they took...
Lies of P is an amazing game from what I've seen.
Yeah, and they took all the stuff and then they did some of their own stuff to set it apart, and it really resonated with people. They kept the same framework. Clearly, right? If you played that game, even if you played just a beta or the demo or whatever, like that is a FromSoft Souls game. Like
Right.
that's
Yeah,
all it is, right? But
It works.
you know, their art style and then the tweaks they made to the combat and to like the upgrades and stuff like worked really well. And so like if they can do that where it's like Monster Hunter, but you're capturing the robot dinosaurs, you know, and taking their parts to make better weapons and stuff. But they have, you know, the stuff like that's horizon coded, right? Like maybe, you know, if you get enough upgrades, you can ride mounts, you know, in like formation to like to use the rope casters and ride around like in Empire Strikes Back with the walker, right?
Right.
You know, you can do stuff like that and take down the Thunderjaw and make it easier or make it stun for a minute because you tripped it up, right? Like do stuff like that to where it really is like horizon coded.
And don't, for the love of God, release it right next to Monster Hunter though. Make it its own thing.
They do
but
that. It's done.
Do not release it in that same like month. You do that, you're literally trying to kill the game.
Yeah, like that's the thing that needs to happen with the next Horizon. They need to go, okay, where do we have a clear
window
day? Yeah, like we need to not release next to like the game of one generation and then the game of the next generation.
Right now, I can tell you right now, they cannot release it next to
Monster
Hunter. They cannot release it next to GTA 6, and they cannot release it. In my personal opinion, you cannot release it next to Final Fantasy Remake Part 3, because not only are those both from Japanese developers and everything, that is the final game in that remake trilogy, and a lot of people are simply waiting to then just play the entire thing right there. You cannot do that.
Release it right next to Avowed.
I'm fine with that.
That would be, I would feel bad for Obsidian, like because Obsidian makes really good games.
They do, but I mean,
Avowed is
we talked about it in our last the last time we were streaming and made the video on it. Microsoft just has too many games right now, and
yeah,
I'm still wondering about the Indiana Jones game.
I think it needs to get pushed. I think it needs to get pushed to second quarter next year. In my opinion,
I think it could.
It gets pushed to like April or May next year. That's what I think. By the way, chat, game of the year, Little Kitty Big City, has finally hit overwhelmingly positive on Steam. It's finally happened.
What was it called?
Little Kitty Big City. It's just an adorable little cat game, Talon. This is nothing.
Little Kitty Big City.
it's like a 4-hour game. I absolutely loved it. It is, believe it or not, one of my favorite games of the year.
I mean, it's got overly positive, yeah. So I mean,
194 players. That's more than Breakers and Suicide Squad.
Is it?
It probably is. I don't know.
Breakers. I want to see where Breakers is.
I want to see where Suicide Squad and where.
All right, hang on. So it's
Breakers.
Dragon Ball Breakers.
Yeah, right there. It was there.
Yeah,
it was there. Yeah, just put the Breakers.
Yeah. It's always the Breakers, not Breakers. 494. Okay, so it's got more people than. Wait, hang on. So 494 and 806. Looks like the peak.
This is a live service.
It's the same. 454.
It's a live service battle pass gacha game.
Yeah. Okay.
This
and then Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Suicide Squad's probably got Little Kitty Big City numbers. If I had to wager.
Actually.
Ooh. Now, to be fair, I do want to be fair. They did just give it away on Epic, so that's probably where a large part of the PC player base is.
But this is Steam. These are Steam numbers right now.
But I'd wager that Epic has at least 100 players.
I would hope.
You know. What's wild though is still there's those leaderboards though, man. Like you see this on Steam, and this is one of those things that we talk about. You know, I had to tell Lemon because Lemon always goes, "Yeah, well, you don't know about Game Pass numbers." That Suicide Squad leaderboard was the thing that really made me look at that and go, like, maybe those people who say like we don't know about the Game Pass numbers are onto something, because clearly the PlayStation numbers on that game are in the 20,000s.
Well, and it's enough to keep them around, right?
Yeah, and yeah, if there's that, which makes it, you know, they're probably gonna finish the year and be done still.
So here, I've got this is PlayStation's blog. I mean, you can't get any more official than this. This is July 9th, 2024. So obviously it's not, you know, yesterday or anything, but as of right now, PlayStation 5 games. So Grand Theft Auto, Elden Ring, NBK, Sea of Thieves, which I still find extremely funny. And by the way, this is US and the EU is on the right side. Call of Duty, and then Witcher 3. I'm happy about that. I like that. V Rising, Tom Clancy's 6, It Takes Two, Madden, Helldivers 2, Hogwarts Legacy, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Assassin's Creed Mirage. I'm surprised to see Assassin's Creed Mirage, but
I cannot believe Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the game, is on this list. Good.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Yeah, I guess so. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, Call of Duty's way down here. Cyberpunk, UFC, Hogwarts Legacy, It Takes Two, Cyberpunk, Sly Cooper, and Devious Raccoonist. Isn't that because it was released on the backwards compatibility?
Yeah, the backwards compatibility with the PlayStation Premiere or whatever.
Yeah. So,
which I will say, PlayStation's PS Plus cloud streaming is still like miles ahead of Xbox, and I wonder how that's even weird. Possible. Yeah, it's like how. Yeah, Suicide Squad, those sales, because that was downloads, right?
Yeah. PlayStation.
If you can find their player, I don't know. PlayStation puts that and makes it
chart. Well, there's this. I don't know how credible it is. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League at 200 peak Steam players. At what point do you abandon? That's for Steam.
Yeah, I guarantee you that's like 6 months ago.
Yeah, 3 months ago. But
I still gotta get Miss Freeze. I haven't unlocked Miss Freeze yet. They put the Joker and Harley Arkham outfits in though, so I might finally use that $20 worth of store credit they gave me. I was like, that'd be cool. I'll have the Arkham outfits. Yeah.
I could have sworn I saw something. I'll have to find it later. No,
it's still one of the top sales games.
Yeah, like it actually does surprisingly well on PlayStation of all things. It's kind of like, seriously?
Well, PlayStation had the marketing. It was before Rebirth. It was a very big IP. Like DC's still big IP.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, and you got to think like I play it. Lethal bought it. Brian bought it. Right.
Yeah.
So, like, people bought it just because it was tied to Arkham, quote unquote.
I mean, obviously, it wasn't. I don't think it was enough to obviously save it or anything. And clearly, we saw that within WB's sale or their revenue. You know, numbers are way down and everything. But
yeah,
you know, it just goes back to the original point, though, that if something like that can still do decently well on one platform, Concord has a chance to be good. I mean, we'll have to wait and see, obviously, right? It's just one of the, I mean, we literally have 11 days. In 11 days, we will see what happens with game when it releases. Obviously, Steam numbers are going to say one thing, but if if we saw that in, let's just say a random thing. Let's just say, for example, on PlayStation alone, we all of a sudden see that it sells 2-3 million. Heck, even 1 million, I think would be fine. If it sells 1 million copies within like a first week or something like that, it could happen. You never know. You can't say anything until it's finally out, right?
If it does that, obviously, and it makes its budget back, I think.
I mean, heck,
even if it doesn't make its budget back, if they really get good data from it, I think they'll be happy. Like if they go, hey, we lost like 4 million, but we got some really great data on live service habits and trends from this. Because what I think they're doing now is they're kind of licking their wounds and they're regrouping.
Yep.
Is they had all these live services that were supposed to come out. They've seen Helldivers now come out, did great, and now it's kind of flailing because Arrowhead as developer apparently just kind of sucks. And then we're seeing Firewalk hopefully not gets thrown to the wolves, but that's what it's looking like, unfortunately.
If Sony actually keeps them on and allows them to make their next game, I'll be happy. I'll be satisfied at least.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, is that they go, okay, hey, like, you guys, you know, the game cost with all, like, because the game looks fantastic, right?
It's
like
got great production. You can't deny that.
Yeah, like, so, you know, I expect, because you'd think that just a shooter would be super low budget, right? It's just a shooter in Unreal.
But with the servers, though, and then, you know, with the production that it clearly has, I mean...
But that's what I'm saying, is that those cutscenes and stuff is going to be what drives that budget up. But if you're just doing a shooter, right? I mean, it would take you $10 million.
Probably 10, 20, I would say, probably, yeah.
Yeah, but then you add that production, and maybe they're getting into like doubling that, right?
Yeah.
Having to do all that animation for cutscenes and stuff. Depending on how they do it. Are they doing mocap, or are they doing hand animation? Because hand animation, I think, is way more expensive and takes way longer.
Yeah, it depends what if they're able to take something, if they're able to do mocap but use some of the technology from the other teams of Sony and PlayStation, that actually probably is cheaper, right? It's always the first time that you do something is the most expensive, and then once you've learned its tricks and trades, essentially, it becomes a lot cheaper. So because like one thing that you can't deny when it comes to the Suicide Squad is the motion capture and the character models, right? And those cutscenes, look really, really good. You know, so something like that.
When you pick your character, like, that's like, all the cutscenes look fantastic. But even when you pick your character, like, I've never seen so much animation in a choose your character screen.
Right.
For like,
so,
when it's photorealistic.
I guarantee you that's something they're going to take going forward into other games and everything. And because they've done that now, it's probably easier for them to do. So, I mean, the bottom line, though, when it comes to Concord is that, it's probably not going to do well. Although PlayStation could. You never know. I mean, again, I'm part of me, just for the laughs alone, part of me wants to wake up, because it's just time zones here. I want to wake up like September 2nd. Actually, no, scratch that. September 1st. I want to wake up on September 1st, because it's a Monday for me. Or maybe it's a Tuesday. It's either a Monday or a Sunday, whatever. Regardless, right before I go back to work, where I got my final day before I have to go back to work for the week before my students' finals exams, I want to see a headline pop up saying Concord sells X amount, and it's like 1 million or 2 million or something. I want to see it just for the laughs and what's going to be happening online. I just want to see it.
Could you imagine if you woke up and like after the first, it was like Concord has sold 5 million copies.
I would be laughing so hard.
And then you look at the Steam player base, and it's like 4.
It's like 4 people on Steam, and somehow sells. I'd be like, well, I guess I was right.
Like, I mean, we'll see. But even if it's like you said, if they can keep Firewalk, because Firewalk, man, those devs know how to make a shooter.
They
do.
Whew. I mean,
that game feels real nice.
Right, and just look at their past experience. Like, that proves right there they know how to. So,
yeah. And so with that, it becomes a, like, okay, you end up getting, like, it's like I said, they can end up getting like good data from it, like player habits, stuff like that you only get from like running live services.
Right.
And if that pays off, maybe, because what I'm thinking they're letting Horizon go. They're still doing fair games from what I know, what I've heard.
I'm shocked about that, but okay.
Well, that's Jade Raymond. They're going to give her a lot of time and money because she's made some really good stuff.
Hopefully they don't stick with the trendy, weird speaking Gen Z style or Gen Alpha or whatever.
The other thing is with that, it's right, because like one of the big disappointments this last year was Payday 3.
Oh, right? Yeah, that flopped.
So having a PvP heist game might be like a market that needs filling right now. And if that comes out and people like it, Payday 3 is don't even.
You want to see the numbers?
Oh, it's gonna be bad, dude. Ooh.
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 What about
All
Payday?
right.
Where's Payday 2? Oh.
Payday 2 has more players, almost guaranteed.
Oh, it has to. It has to. I want to know. 18,000. Okay, 21,000. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Sounds
Damn.
about right. Yeah, because Payday 3 came out and everyone was just like, "Oh, this sucks. Let's go back to Payday 2."
Well, because I remember the previews for Payday 3 actually came out, and because I've even seen people like Actman talking about it, and they're like, yeah, it's actually fairly good. There's some things that need to change and everything, but overall it's good. But the problem was that when Payday 3 came out, no one could get into the game.
Yeah,
like all the server issues and all that kind of stuff, and then they're just like, well, I guess we're gonna go this way because it took them forever to finally get it into a decent spot. And yeah,
I have Payday 2. I didn't realize Payday 2 is now at 85 gigs.
jeez,
And
I got that game back in like 2013.
Yeah, and it has 1,328 achievements on Steam.
Yikes.
Yeah. When did this game come out? That was a long time. It was like 2009. No, it was 2013. You're right.
Yeah, 2013. Yeah.
You know what they need to remaster? This is one of my all-time copium wish list games of remasters. Is I want Escape from Butcher Bay and the Dark Athena, the Riddick games. Man, those are probably the two best licensed games of all time.
Well, then I got to say my copium wish, and that is that after Firewalk does their Concord, we got to say it with me. You know what I'm talking about, Bobby.
Anthem 2, Electric Boogaloo. Oh, was that not it?
No, that is not.
I know Talon wants his copium Killzone.
Yep, we need Killzone. We need a Killzone online multiplayer game. I would personally like to also say the single player part of it as well, but after Shadowfall, I believe it was okay. But I mean, again, if they have to go into online only for that particular studio and they only have a certain budget and it can only be online, give them a Killzone online. I know you want to. Okay. I think with that, though, we're going to call it there for the stream, guys. I went from only predicting to end this, I wanted to end this like over an hour and a half ago, but Bobby and I just kept going. So hope you guys enjoyed all the conversations. And if you happen to be seeing this in video format later on, then check out our other videos and make sure you follow the channel, sub to it as always, and we hope you enjoyed. But with that being said, though, I've been Talon with Direct Gaming here, joined again by Little Bobby as always. And until next time, everyone, we'll see you all in the next one. Ane.